Hello everyone, I just woke up and saw there's a new Dota update. I wanted to share my first impressions with you. It seems like it's a really huge patch. I didn't have the time to read the patch notes yet, and we're going through it together. Looks like they made a lot of hero reworks, map terrain changes, neutral item changes. They added new neutral items, some quality of life changes, some changes in the settings. Let's go through it together. Starting with the hero updates. Starting with Abaddon. Actually, they removed the Mephitic Shroud facet and gave him a new facet. The new facet is his old shard. Mistcoil although deals attack damage and applies effects on items and abilities, such as his passive, for example. Self damage is increased from 40 to 70. Actually, this can make him maybe a good carry on lane. It could be very strong on level 2, but you're playing without shield then on lane. Don't know about this. This needs to be tried out in game, I guess. A Withering Mist, instead of reducing healing, health regen, spell lifesteal by 35%, now reduces health restoration by 35%. This is actually no change at all. It's in the general changes from the patch we will talk about later. This is only uh, some quality of life change. They removed some word clutter and named this stuff health restoration. For Abaddon, this change doesn't change anything. There are some heroes that change with this health restoration change, but for Abaddon it's the same. Actually, a Mist Coil no longer upgraded with the Gainem shard was what I talked about earlier. His new shard is now the Mist Coil. His new facet is now Mist Coil. The shield gets now upgraded by shard and deals 75% of the absorbed damage to nearby enemies, which was the facet before. Overall, a quite interesting change. Maybe we can see some Abaddon carry or offlane now with the new Mist Coil, but probably you need to play this without shield then on lane, or you only get shield on level 3. I don't know yet. This can be quite strong. We will see. When we get to Aquan, has got changed. Tempest double, double, whatever. Now grants an Arcane rune instead of Invisibility rune. Actually very strong if you get level 6. Instead of having the invisibility with your double, you will get an Arcane rune. But I think the other facet is still stronger if you're going mid. But actually, it's very strong on lane. Let's see how this plays out. The new facet makes you strong on lane if you use ult on lane. Probably nets you 1 or 2 kills more in the early game. Could be a new facet to pick on Arc 1. They changed the facets. His talents, level 20 talent, magnetic field cooldown reduction decreased from 7 to 5%, a little nerf. The magnetic field was very strong. Not many people played Arc Warden, but if you had an Arc Warden player that can handle both his illusions, both heroes, I mean, this was very annoying. Actually, it needed nerf, I guess. Rave damage increased by 10%. Not a huge buff. This is also not a huge buff. Talent Spark Rave activation delay reduction increased from 1 to 1.1 second. That's okay, I guess. Next was Bedrider. Base movement speed decreased from 330 to 320, which is actually a huge nerf to Bedrider. Well, let's see the facets. Probably they did something here. Facet number 1 is Stoked. Firefly also sets Bedrider on fire. He's burning away 2% of his max health per second, but gains increasingly bigger bonuses to movement speed and spell amp over the duration. Max movement speed bonus 25 to 40%. Max spell amp 20%. Max bonus values are reached at the end of Firefly's duration and don't linger after. Bonuses increase and self-burn damage are applied every 0.1 seconds. Self-burn damage does not increase over time. Self-burn damage is magical and non-lethal. Actually, huge facet, I guess. Especially at the end of Firefly, you're really fast. You can't be catched anymore. Can dodge some spells, dodge the enemies. Also do huge damage with a 20% spell amp. Maybe Bedrider's viable again, let's see. The second facet, Arsonist, increases the max level of Sticky Napalm to 5. Number of times, okay, that's obvious. Sticky Napalm at level 5 makes Bedrider attacks apply 1 stack of Sticky Napalm. Actually, not good against heroes. You don't want to attack with Bedrider in most cases, because your Firefly won't be dealing any damage then. Also, you have a very shitty attack animation. But let's see. Okay, they upgraded the shard. You remove the 20 stack limit, and also Sticky Napalm deals 35% of its damage to buildings, which makes this facet really strong. You can push really good with Bedrider now, especially when playing mid. The mid hero can't leave the lane at all. That's your just pushing through, I guess. The stack values are halved for the Sticky Napalm, and also applies 2 stacks on cast, which makes your auto attack on heroes not that good, because you only apply 1 stack of Sticky Napalm. But it's really good against towers, and also when you push with your teammates, I guess this is also a viable facet. Let's see what happens in the meta. But I would guess this one is stronger, the stoked facet. But this could work against, work with pushing lineups, I guess. But let's see. Also, level 25 talents got changed. Sticky Napalm stacks applied by Flame Break increased from 2 to 4. Actually, fine, I guess. Sticky Napalm damage decreased from 20 to plus 10. Yeah, that's because... they changed the talents because the stack values are halved. Okay, that's actually no change at all. Next hero's Beastmaster. I actually played a lot of Beastmaster this patch. It was really strong. Base agility decreased by 3 points. Actually, nerf to Beastmaster in the early game. You have less armor, less attack speed, also less damage because you're a universal hero. And the damage level 1 got decreased by 1. Yeah, makes him a little weaker in the early game, especially on level 1 and level 2. Abilities, Drops of Slum, stacks granted upon using Primal Row decreased from 10, 15, 20 to 10. That's actually a fucking huge nerf to Beastmaster. You wanted to have your timing level 12, have your Aghanim's and your dagger, and get the 15 stack charges when you ult. Now you only get 10, which decreases your damage by a lot. Doesn't let you kill every hero solo anymore. Yeah, that's actually a huge nerf to Beastmaster. We will be seeing a decrease in picking Beastmaster in the pro scene also, I guess, because this makes you deal very, very less damage, actually, in team fights. Especially on level 18, if you had the 20 stacks when going in, you were like invincible, which doesn't happen anymore. Level 15 talent and beast attack speed increased from 10 to 15. Yeah, you won't be taking this. You will take the max health for your units on level 15 still. So not relevant, this change. Next hero's Bloodseeker. They removed the Blood Rush facet. The new facet Old Blood. Blood Rage Spell got replaced with a spell base damage amp now. The ability also silences the target, can be cast on enemies. Range decrease from 800 to 400 and mana cost from 0 to 60. Actually, you have a 8-second silence on Bloodseeker now, which is very strong, I guess. But you won't be building Radiance Maelstrom now because you don't have the spell amp. Probably you go for, I don't know, something else. Not the Maelstrom Radiance build at least. Let's see how this works out. Actually, a 8-second silence is also pretty strong, especially when you hit your W. You have like 11, 12 seconds silence then. If you pick the facet, you also have another talent, the base damage amp, instead of the spell amp. Well, I'm thinking about item builds right now with this new facet because you get the base damage amp. I guess you go like stats items like Sange Yasha, portraits, everything that gives stats actually. Yeah, could be strong. Let's see how this works out. Level 10 talent, blood rage attack speed replaced with 175 health. I guess he wanted the attack speed more than the 175 health, I don't know. Let's see, Bounty Hunter. The shot got buffed. Fade time decreased from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. Which is really good, I guess. The shot is quite good with some heroes. We have like big teamfight heroes like Magnus, Warlock, Enigma that don't get a Shadow Blade. You can really surprise your enemies with it. Level 10 talent damage increase from 20 to 25. Yeah, actually, I don't think Bounty Hunter needed any buffs. Bounty Hunter was quite fine this patch, but I guess that's fine. Oh, Broomhurster, a lot of changes. Cast point improved from 0.4 to 0.35 seconds from the Stunner clap. Quite good. When chasing, actually. Cooldown rescaled. A little less cooldown on level 4. And damage increased. Which makes Thunderclap maybe worth it to max now on Brewmaster. Cinderbrew cooldown decreased. Yeah, really good combination here. Now you always have Cinderbrew level 1 and Thunderclap ready together. Quite nice actually. Makes Panda Brewmaster strong online. Primal Split, attack damage increased by 5, 10, 15 from the Earth's Ruling. Demolish, building damage decreased, which was actually really needed. They did a lot of damage against buildings and you couldn't do anything against it if you didn't have the right heroes to counter the Rulings. Cyclone now deals 75 damage when the target unit lands. Actually quite good, it cancels your dagger. Yeah, good buff to Primal Split. The movement speed in Windwalk increased. Okay, I guess that's fine. Permanent immolation radius increased from the fire ruling. Also fine, I guess. This is a huge nerf. Building damage decrease, but this is actually a huge buff, so people can't dagger after getting cycloned, which makes your crowd control even better. Attack speed talent increase from 100 to 110. Yeah, I'm not playing Panda, actually. Don't know how this affects the talent usage. Next hero, Bradmother. Spider's Milk. Buff is no longer dispellable. Oh, it's fine, I guess. Not a huge innate. Just heals you for a bit. No longer dispellable now. Makes you stronger against Nullifier. Level 10 talent, spiders make hero health as heal increased from 0.5 to 1.5. Actually, a good buff in combination with the not dispellable thingy. Level 15 and level 20 talents got swapped around. But I guess you wanted the spin whip charge restore time at level 15, which gives you more map control actually. You only get it at level 20 now. Actually, I don't think Prep Mother will be played with this changes. Yeah, not a huge nerf, not a huge buff. Still the same, I guess. Sent Facet got buffed. Counter Strike. Double Edge now also cons non-hero damage taken from enemies. Guess makes diving better for Sent. This facet actually makes your double edge deal more damage when you take damage. Now, before it was only hero damage taken, now also non-hero damage. If you take tower damage and you dive into the tower, you deal a lot of damage now, I guess. Cast range increase, very good buff for Ascent. Could be picked more often now. CK, let's have a look. Not playing CK red very often. Cloven Chaos, bounce range increased from 60 to 70%. Actually, you still don't take this facet. You want the silence break or disarm if you use your reality rift. I'm still not taking this. Max damage increased, chaos bolt, little buff. Yeah, nothing extraordinary actually. Next is Chen. Base damage increased by 2. Actually quite good. Gives you more harass on lane. Damage at level 1 increased. Oh, that's the 2 damage actually. It's quite good on Chen. Gives you more harass. Not many Chen players out there, but I guess the players who play him are happy. Holy Persuasion buffed. More bonus damage on the units. Oh, okay, the creeps get the bonus damage immediately if you level up Holy Persuasion. And Holy Persuasion no longer upgraded with Aga. You in favor the life region. No, the units also receive it when teleported to Chen. Hand of God, now upgrade with Garnam Scepter. Reduce cooldown by 40%, 40 seconds. Hand of God becomes a channeled spell. After the initial heal, Chen can keep channeling the ability for up to 6 seconds to grant debuff immunity with 60% magic resistance to all allied units with 800 radius, with the exception of himself. This effect also tributes the Hand of God's heal over time for all units with a debuff immunity radius. That's actually crazy. It's a AoE BKB for your whole team. If you like glimmer yourself, use Hand of God. Stand inside your team, like buy a dagger into your team, press the spell behind the trees, and your whole team has a 6-second BKB. That's actually quite amazing. Maybe we see, especially in the pro scene, I guess we will see Chen picked more often now. The 15 talent, Holy Persuasion damage increase from 12 to 14. It's okay, I guess. Minimum health increased on level 20 talent for Holy Persuasion by 100. Level 20 talent, minus 30 seconds Hand of God cooldown replaced with 20% Divine Favor heal amp. Actually, huge buff to Chen. Makes him a strong team fighter now with this Hand of God. Let's see how this works out. I guess this will be huge in the pro scene. Not so much in pubs, but will make Chen picked in pro scene, I guess. Lynx, Burning Army, cooldown decrease from 80 to 70. Quite good for pushing and farming. Level 15 talent attack range decrease from 75 to 60. It doesn't change much to Kling's. Block has a new facet, chain meal. Okay, you can self-cast chainmail item to consume it. Each consumed chainmail provides them with +4 armor. Yeah, I don't know about this. Maybe maybe it works in Herald pubs when the games are 3 hours and you have like 500 armor. But won't change anything on Immortal actually. Because you want the items on Clockwork, you want maybe a Blade Mail, you want your Silence, you want the Arcanums. You don't have money to eat your fucking chainmails. Number 20, Talent Rocket Flare damage replaced with 20 Power Cogs Mana Burn. Actually a good buff, I guess. So your Cogs in the late game also have some Mana Burn. Yeah, it's quite good. This facet is completely useless. Next hero of Crystal Maiden. First got changed. I can Aura Allied Mana Restoration decreased from 25 to 15%. Now also restores a portion of mana to Crystal Maiden herself. Activation no longer interrupts movement. I guess good for mana problems on lane. You can spam a little bit more, but not a huge change. Darkseer, agility gain decreased from 1.8 to 1.5. Actually, a little nerf to Darkseer gives you less armor, less attack speed. Most of the times, changes to stat gains are quite huge, but I guess this one isn't. That's a little nerf, but not that hard. Cooldown increased from 9 to 10 seconds. That's actually like a 10% nerf to his Arcanums. Quite good nerf. Darkseer was very strong. Still is very strong. Not a little nerf to Darkseer. Dark Willow. Next hero was Dark Willow. Her innate got buffed a little bit. Bonus health region increased from 100 to 150. Bonus mana region increased from 100 to 150. Shadow Realm cooldown also decreased. A little buffs to Dark Willow. Wasn't picked that much this patch. But I guess this doesn't change much. Next hero, Dawnbreaker. Base damage decreased by 5. Actually huge nerf to Dawnbreaker. Makes you weaker on lane, you can't trade that good anymore. Last setting just got harder. Yeah, huge nerf to Dawnbreaker. Although I didn't see him that often, especially on offlane. Yeah, I don't know. Huge nerf. Let's see. Facet, Star Search, now grants the attack speed buff even the Starbreaker was interrupted. Okay, I guess. If you had the shard, you won't get interrupted anyways, most of the time. Don't know if this is huge or not. Finally, the innate got fucking reworked. I hated it when I had him in team and it got day in team fights and you liked like shit, even if you had a good PC. Yeah. Whenever the sun comes out, Dawnbreaker gains 25% bonus damage, 20% bonus vision that decreases throughout the course of the day. Actually, it's quite good. Yeah, okay. You have if the game starts, you actually have 25% bonus damage. That's why they decrease the base damage actually. And it's not that of a huge nerf. You actually have a quick math. So 75 damage actually on level 1, which is quite huge. Yeah, you have know what I'm talking about. 65 damage at level 1, plus 15 damage you will receive with this facet, and throughout the day you get less, but in the meantime you will level up. Actually, not that big of a nerf then. Only when it's night you have, obviously don't have the 5 damage. But at the start of the game, you're stronger now. Gives you a easier lane, I guess. Next hero's Dazzle. Shallow Grave, cast range rescaled from 700, 800, 900,000 to 900. Actually, good buff to Shallow Grave. Duration increased from the 1.4 to 5.5 seconds, and heal and permissing health increased. Actually, a huge buff to Dazzle. Dazzle got nerfed pretty hard last patch, in my opinion, not playable right now. But now you only need to get level 1 Grave to be useful, actually. Good buff to get Dazzle. As a support, not as a, like, right-click monster you were last patch, but actually good buff to Dazzle. Next he was Death Prophet. Crypt Swarm damage increase, makes you last it easier from 85 to 100. At level 4 it's the same, but this makes you strong on lane. Projector speed from silence increased, also a good buff. And talent level 15, silence AoE increase from 75 to 100. Actually, this buff could make him viable in mid again. It gives you more harass, more elasting. Also, this makes him stronger in team fights. Yeah, let's see. Good buff to Death Prophet. Oh, Disruptor, huge changes, it seems. The Thunderstorm Facet. Slow duration increased from 0.4 to 8.6. Okay, that's actually good, especially on lane. You can harass stronger. Maybe your carry can connect or your offlane can connect when Thunderstrike is on because the slow duration got increased. Kinetic Fence. Okay, this is actually only quality of life change. Fix an error that displayed incorrect wall length and tooltips in description. No change at all. New facet. Increase the max level of electromagnetic repulsion to 4. Improves the static storm. This was actually only your passive. Now you can get this as a facet. Can be activated targeting allied heroes or self. Manual cast deals damage equal to 10% of Disruptor's current health and sensibility on cooldown. Actually can save allies against melee heroes. Could be nice, I guess. Yeah, it's actually not that bad. What this does is you can knock someone back if, like, PA if a PA jumps on your carry or on any other hero in your team, you do this and PA gets knocked back, so maybe it can't connect anymore. Actually, good buff. Can be picked now, I guess, this facet. Let's see. Thunderstrike, Aghanim's Shard, dormant duration decreased from 5 to 4 seconds. Okay, whatever. The 15 talent, 1.5 seconds. Static Storm duration replaced with 60 Static Storm max DPS. Actually makes you burst really hard now, I guess. But most of the time you want the duration. I guess this was better, but not quite sure. 20 talent, Thunderstrike, slow duration replaced with 150 electromagnetic repulsion, radius knockback. Actually, this works quite good with your new facet. Yeah. Level 20 talent, kinetic field duration decreased from 2 to 1.5. It's a little nerf right here. But most of the times, I guess, if you pick this facet, you will also want to pick this one. Yeah. Next up is Doom. Doom, not picked that often in pubs, but actually in pro games. Facet, David's Bargain. Item sellback percentage decreased from 90 to 85. Okay, little nerf to this facet. This facet was actually quite good. You could go like small items. If you bought face boots, drums, stick, all the small items, you could sell them and get them, or you still can sell them, get back most of the gold and transition into something else. Little nerf, not that huge. Doom mana cost decreased. At level 3. Actually quite good for Doom. Doom always has mana problems. Argana Scepter radius increase. Okay, this makes actually maybe Scepter viable again. Yeah, let's see. This is a little nerf. 2 good buffs for Doom. Dragon Knight. Frost Dragon. Yeah, like I said before, the health restoration is like the same. It's only a matter of wording. So actually, no changes at all. Only change the wording. Draw Ranger. Frost Arrows. Argana Scepter, instead of reducing healing, health regen, lifesteal, spell lifesteal by 10%, now reduces health restoration by 10%. Yeah, like I said, it's only wording, they changed it. And in the general patch notes, it's like nothing changed here. On cast knockback distance increased from 175 to 225. Actually, a little buff for draw. Melee heroes can't reach her that good if they get knockback further. Yeah. Not huge, but a little buff for her. Now we get to Earthshaker. I removed the Spirit Can innate ability. This was actually quite good, I liked it. If you died in teamfights early, you still received XP. For those who don't know, you on the location you died, you created like a little pillar, and at this pillar around, I think it's 1.2k range, you received XP. If you died early on lane in a tower or something, you still received XP, which made you not fall behind on lane. I completely removed it. Now we have a new facet, Resonating Ridge. Fissure, enemy heroes stunned by Fissure emit an echo to each nearby unit with a 400 radius, dealing 6% of Echo Slam's current echo damage. Yeah, we actually did right. Let's see. Tectonic buildup got changed. Aftershock radius increase rescaled from 50 with every 10 hero levels to 40 with every level of Echo Slam. The old Facet Slugger now is an innate with decreased values. Only a little decreased values. Still fine. Guess they had to like nerf the values because it's not a facet anymore. Aftershock radius decreased. This is actually quite a huge nerf to Earthshaker in my opinion. 50% radius on Aftershock decrease is very huge. Maybe this forces you to take the Tectonic build-up facet actually, but we will need to try this one here. Echo Slam, damage decreased, same on level 1. Minus 10 damage on level 2, minus 20 damage on level 3. Actually made Echo Slam worse in the late game, but still good on level 1. But it's still good in the late game. Let's try the facet. Yeah, for this facet to work, I guess we need level 6 because we need Echo Slam, and also we need an enemy hero. Let's see if we can kill the wave at level 1. Oh no, we can't, but it does quite good damage. We have 2 heroes. Doesn't feel huge actually. I guess this one is the one you need to pick now, especially because of the aftershock radius decrease. Elder Titan, one of my favorite heroes actually. Deconstruction, armor reduction per second decrease from 1 to 0.8. Magic resistance reduction decrease from 1 to 0.8. Actually, yeah, it's not that huge nerf, but it's still a nerf. Elder Titan, not very strong in my opinion. Last patch. As for Spirit, no longer automatically rejoins Elder Titan on collision with them. Actually, good quality of life change. Sometimes this was quite shit. You weren't ready to hit everything with your spirit, and you walk through your spirit, and the spirit just joins you, and then you're fucked. Especially with the Arganims, if you get like 2 seconds less BKB timing because of this. But now you can control it manually, which is quite good. This is a nerf to Elder Titan. Elder Titan, like I said, in my opinion, not very strong. This patch can be played on 4, maybe 5, but it's not offline right now. You're just missing like the flash farming other offline heroes have. Emma Spirit, Chain Gang, Facet, number of bonus units increased from 1 to 2, unit count increased from 3 to 4. Makes you even throw more Searing Chains, quite good buff I guess. Enchantress, attack range bonus increased, makes you deal more damage with Impetus. Mana cost rescaled from 50, yeah, level 1 Enchantress with Impetus may be viable again, because you can like throw the 3 or 5 Impetus more with your mana pool. Quite good buffs. Enigma, Demonic Summoning, Eidolon damage rescaled, makes less damage on level 1, more damage on level 4. Yeah, huge nerf to Enigma on level 1. Avoid. Only talent changes. Talent time dilation, DPS per cooldown increase from 7 to 9. Okay. 15 time lock damage increase from 30 to 35. 20 time walk cooldown reduction increase from 1 to 1.25. And level 20 talent attack speed during Chronosphere time zone increased from plus 80 to 100. Good buffs to Void. Void is not picked anymore since they nerfed the time zone. But let's see how this works out. I don't think Void is picked, even if they with the talent changes right here. Grimstalk. Facet changed. Fine art. Grimstalk launches a mirrored curved stroke from his free hand. Each enemy can take damage only from one stroke, but still contributes to the bonus damage accumulation for both. Stroke of Fate, point vector target behavior, previously exclusive to Fine Art Facet, now is enabled by default. Okay, that's quite cool. 20, 30, 50 bonus damage being replaced with separate values for heroes and creeps. Okay. Looks like a nerf to me, actually. Especially on lane. Yeah, it's a nerf on lane. But I guess with this facet, you're dealing around the same damage because you hit everything on lane. Soulbind. If the debuff ends on the primary target only due to status resistance, it will also be destroyed on a secondary target. Yeah, okay, that's a good nerf. Let's try it though. Okay, this looks kinda crazy.
Prepare for battle.
I don't even know what the fuck's happening. I'm not playing Grimstroke actually, also. Actually, I guess you're not missing this crap anymore. Quite good buff to Grimstroke using this facet. Next up, Jarrow. Base armor decreased. Huge nerf to Jarrow on lane. Makes him squishy on lane. Chances like this always don't seem huge, but like 1 armor in the early game is very huge. Facets Afterburner, movement speed, duration increased from 4 seconds to 4.5 seconds. Yeah, most of the people don't pick this talent. The other talent is stronger. Won't change with this talent change, I guess. Hoodwink, Facets, go nuts. No longer increases buff duration. Okay. Aegon Shot, mana cost decrease. It's good for early game, I guess. 70 mana for Aegon Shot, which deals huge damage. Quite good buff to Hoodwink. I guess this is not actually a nerf because you get it as a normal spell. Yeah, good buffs to Hoodwink. Maybe played often, more often now. Huska. Huska buff. Inner Fire. Arcanum Shard movement slow increased from 40 to 50%. Good buff to Huska, I guess. Huska is also very strong this patch. Didn't need a buff, I guess. But there it is. Well, what happened to Invoker? Base damage increased. Very huge buff to Invoker. The base damage increase. The only problem Invoker had actually on lane was he couldn't last it against most of the heroes. Intelligence gain decrease from 4.7 to 4, huge nerf. Oh, huge Aga nerf. Aghanim Scepter no longer grants 2 levels to facet-sided orbs and 1 to others, now only 1 level to all orbs. That's actually a huge nerf to Invoker. Move basic facet exclusive cold snaps have remove basic facet exclusive upgrades, cold snaps, health and mana restoration for Scholar of Korix, alacrity's bonus attack range for Mind of Tornadoes, and Chaos Meteor increased size and turret distance. Okay. Mm, actually, no one picked this. No one picked this, so let's talk about this one. Agent of Galeron. No longer against the second additional level from Arcanum Scepter. Yeah. Still doing a lot of damage. Chaos Meteor no longer has increased size and turret distance. Huge nerf. Sunstrike. Arcanum Scepter Cataclysmic cooldown increase from huge nerfs to Invoker. Let me have a look right here. Actually, huge nerfs to Invoker. Abilities Vex now also grants attack speed per instance, attack damage per instance increased for Exort. This actually makes him better on lane, I guess, a little bit, so he can last it more. Freeze damage increased by 20. Sunstrike damage decrease. Actually, we really need it. In my opinion, Sunstrike was fucking overpowered, especially with the Cataclysm from Aghanim's. Duration rescaled from the Forge Spirits. Ice Wall. The damage per second interval is now based on a unit gaining debuff rather than on an interval for the entire wall. As a result, the first damage instant is now applied instantly. Damage interval improved from 1 to 0.5. Damage per second. Yeah, actually, all these things are really huge nerfs to Invoker. Only the 4% 4 base damage increase is a little buff, and the Exort damage increase, so we get some last hits on lane, but I guess Invoker is dead with all these nerfs. Especially this one, no longer increased size and turret distance, which makes you dodge this Chaos Meteor quite easy. And the Sunstrike cooldown. Yeah, actually huge nerfs. Also Sunstrike damage got nerfed. Yeah. Next up is Io. New new innate ability, new innate ability. Consumable items and item abilities that restore health and mana over time affect IO twice as fast. Total amount of restored health or mana remains the same. Actually heal up way more with the tangos now. Way faster, I mean. Which is quite nice, especially when you tether your teammate. Yeah, it's really good, actually. Nice in it for IO. Works really well with the tether. Quite good. Especially serving up now should take like 5 seconds, I guess. Self is 10 seconds duration. Now 5 seconds heals your friend up in 5 seconds. Especially in fights, if you're safe and you can get the self off 5 seconds and you heal your teammate around 400 HP. Quite good. Spirit's Arcana Scepter movement slow increased from 15 to 25. Yeah, no one bought that. Anyways, doesn't change, I guess. Relocate cooldown decreased. Not a huge buff for pub games, but I guess in pro games this is actually huge. The 10 seconds can make a difference. Jakiro. Damage rescaled from Liquid Frost from level 1 only does 8 damage, but that does more damage on level 4. Yeah, I don't know if this changes anything on lane. Doesn't, I guess. Macropyre linger duration decreased from 2 to 1 second. Actually, huge nerf to Macropyre. Again, if Scepter no longer increases flame width by 70, huge nerf to Macropyre. This makes you, by the way, if you walk out of Macropyre, only receive the debuff for 1 second instead of 2, which deals significantly less damage than to you. Also, the flame width like is 70 range less, which makes Macropyre even worse with Aranims. Quite good nerf to Jakiro, in my opinion, really needed. Juggernaut. Literally. Damage Tick Endeavor is no longer based on Juggernaut's attack speed and has been changed to 5 ticks per second. Okay, I didn't even know this was based on Juggernaut's attack speed. Damage rescaled from... Well, okay, it doesn't change anything because it only has 5 ticks per second now. I guess this is the same damage. 20 talent, minus 3 Blade Fury cooldown replaced with 90 Blade Fury DPS. Actually, maybe there's a shard build now with level 20 talent. Yeah, not huge changes, I guess. Coddle. Facets. Recall. Nerfed. Chakra magic only applied to the teleported target, not to himself. I guess Coddle didn't have any mana problems anyways, so irrelevant change. But he still gets the movement speed buff, yeah. Spirit form got nerfed. Cast range bonus decreased. Not by a huge amount, but still a little nerf. The 15 talent chakra magic cooldown reduction decreased from 3 to 2 seconds. That's actually a huge nerf. Yeah. Especially with heroes like Storm Spirit who could spam QW all the time with Coddle and team. This is a huge nerf to Coddle. Next to Kunkka. Kunkka, Facet, Grog Blossom. X marks the spot. Upon return, now always applies Ghost Ship Admiral's room buff to Kunkka himself. Really good buff to Kunkka. Most of the times you pick the other facet with the cooldown reduction on Typebringer. But maybe this facet will come and play now. Before X marks the spot with this facet only gave this buff to your allies, but now you get the buff yourself. Guess it's quite good for tanky mid Kunkka. Overall, a very good buff to Kunkka. Legion Commander. Innate got changed. Now that it's up with the duel. Instead of increasing healing, health regen, lifesteal, and spell lifesteal by 50%, now increases health restoration by 30 up to 60%. Like we talked about earlier, health restoration, only another word for all this stuff here. Only the word clutter got less. This is actually a nerf for the early game, but the buff comes here. Now applies when attacking enemy heroes that are equal or higher level than you, instead of only higher level enemy heroes. Online, always, most of the time, you have the same level as the enemy carry if you're playing Legion Commander offline, which didn't give you the facet then, but now you have it always on the lane if you're the same level as the carry, which is quite good, I guess. Overall, not a buff, not a debuff. Makes your lane a little bit stronger, but in the late game you receive a little buff, and in the mid game it's kind of little nerf, but overall, I guess it makes the laning for Legion Commander a bit better. Next up, Leshrac. The facet Chronoptic Nourishment no longer improves with Pulse Nova's level, and damage as mana restore rescaled from 14, 21, 28, 35 to 25%. This makes Leshrac a little bit stronger in the early game until he gets level 2 ult. Then this is a nerf in the mid to late game. Huge nerf to Split Earth. Aghanim's shard additional casts decreased from 3 to 2. If you remember, when you're pushing against Leshrac and he just split earths 2 times, you had like 2 huge split earth uh, ground debuffs, and you couldn't move into the base. This is a huge nerf now. It only casts 2 times, which also makes the AoE less huge. Huge nerf to Leshrac, especially this nerf in the late game gives him less mana. Yeah, overall, yes, Leshrac didn't need such a huge nerf, wasn't that strong, but I guess it's fine. Leshrac can still be played, but it's a huge nerf. Which removed the Frostbound facet. I think that was the one with the more damage on the Chain Frost. He gets a new facet, Evil Eye. Sinister Gaze. Sinister Gaze applies an Evil Eye debuff that will deal additional damage every time Lich deals the magic damage to the target, and amplifies received movement slows by 50%. The Evil Eye debuff duration lingers up to 2 times the elapsed Sinister Gaze channel duration. This actually makes movement slows by Lich very strong, especially when you ult someone and have like the armor on your teammate nearby. Quite strong facet. Especially 50% movement slow is really good. Abilities. Sinister Gaze. Mana drain per second increased from 15 to 20%. Really good against Medusa. We need more heroes that work against Medusa right now, because this hero is just a pain. No longer has extended duration on creeps. Okay, fine, I guess. Give you less mana. You can drain from the range creep. Chain Frost. Now the orb lingers for 2 seconds if there are no current targets to bounce to. The orb will bounce to a new target if one becomes available within the linger duration. Okay, what changed here? Wasn't it like the same? I don't know. Maybe it was 1.5 seconds. Yeah, guess nothing really changed here. Bounce can now damage and slow Roshan. Previously only affected Roshan if he was the cast target. Okay, I guess you can solo kill the enemy carry in pit now. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Good buff to Chain Frost. Makes you fight, makes the Roche fight sometimes maybe a bit easier if the Chain Frost can bounce on Roche. Icefire. Hero hits to kill decrease from 5 to 4. Creep hits to kill decrease from 10 to 8. Yeah, most of the times you don't even have the time to attack the Icefire. This won't change much in teamfights, I guess, if you attack the enemy with a Icefire and Chainfrost combo. Most of the times he doesn't have the time to kill the Icefire because the Chainfrost also slows movement. Your Q slows the movement and attack speed, like Chainfrost, and the armor also decreases attack speed. I guess little nerf village, but nothing game changing. Lifestealer. Base strength decreased from 25 to 23, and damage on level 1 decreased. Well, actually, Lifestealer had really bad last hitting damage, now even has worse last hitting damage, is less tanky. That's good, quite huge nerf to Lifestealer, especially for the laning phase. Doesn't sound much, but Lifestealer wasn't good at last hitting before and is even worse now. Damage over time debuff is now undispellable. Okay. Most of the times you don't even pick this facet, so it doesn't change anything. Feast. Heal from target max health rescaled from 1.5 up to 3 to 2 up to 2.75%. Okay, makes it a little bit stronger in the early game when you can heal up more on the creeps. Max health damage also rescaled. 0.5 level 1 more, but worse at level 4. Yeah, makes your laning phase a bit easier, but you had the base strength nerf before, so it evens out, I guess. Infest. Creep max HP loss per second decreased from 210 to 1.5, 0.75 to 0. I guess you didn't want to stay in the creep forever anyway, so I mean, if you stay in the creep for 50 seconds, then the creep would be dead at level 1 infest, but so you're not staying in the creep for 50 seconds, so irrelevant change. Next up is Lina. Combustion. Overheat damage increased from 10 up to 70 to 15 to 75. Yeah, a little bit more damage with combustion, not game changing. Laguna Blade damage increased. 100 more damage on level 3. Yeah, doesn't make her burst build come back, I think. Doesn't make it come back, but quite a little buff for Lina. Next up line. Finger of Death cooldown decreased. Level 1, 10 seconds. Little buff for Finger of Death. Garnet Scepter cooldown increased. Oh, they increased they nerfed the Scepter cooldown. Yeah. Doesn't change much for line, I guess. Lone Druid. Game of True Sight's passive True Sight now works when carried by the Spirit Bear. Okay. I didn't know this didn't work on Bear actually, but now we know. Actually, a nice buff to Lone Druid against heroes like Ricky, Bounty, Glimmer Capes. Especially against Glimmer Capes, it's quite a good buff for Lone Druid. If the bear carries the gem, which is also quite huge risk actually. Lucan. Facet got changed. Split Wolves, Summon Wolves, bonus health per wolf increased from 60 to 240, okay. Not a huge buff here. Abilities, Wolf Bite, now can also be used on allied creep heroes. Yeah, we were just talking about Lone Druid. I guess the Spirit Bear with Wolf Bite can be quite strong. I don't know, with this ability, most of the times you don't want to bite like Chen Creep or something, but if you bite the Spirit Bear, it's quite strong, I guess. Level 20 talent, shapeshift duration increased from 6 to 7 seconds. A little buff to Lucan. Didn't see much Lucan last patch, although Helm of Dominator got buffed. Yeah. I don't know, maybe this helps Lucan a little bit in this patch. Magnus, Shockwave, slow duration decreased. A little bit less slow on level 1, which makes actually the tower diving skewer harder to hit for Magnus, which nerfs position 4 Magnus. It's the same on level 4, but yeah, like I said, in the early game, it will be weaker against. Magnus will be weaker. You will not be able to pull you into the tower that easily, only if you have bad positioning. Skewer, Aghanim's shot 3 hit damage increased from 30 to 40. Cliff hit damage increased from 125 to 150. Yeah, a little bit more damage, but I guess this nerf is more significant, the shockwave nerf. You won't be able to level 1 skewer that easily anymore. Marcy, agility gain increased from 1.8 to 2.2. Damage gain per level increased from 3 to 3.2. Yeah, actually Marcy had enough damage on... I think Marcy had enough damage already. I don't know why they buffed her damage. Especially as a universal hero, you even gain more damage because you get damage with the agility. Yeah, I don't know. It's actually a not needed buff for Marcy, I think. Damage rescaled for dispose. Less damage level 1, more damage level 4. Yeah, doesn't change much. Rebound mana cost decrease, which is quite good for Marcy because he has low mana in the early game. Actually, I don't know why they buffed her damage, but it is what it is. Good buff to Marcy. Mars. His innate, Dauntless. HP region per extra enemy increased from 50 to 70, and the radius was decreased. Actually, I guess it's fine for Mars, especially on lane. You get more HP region, which helps you out a lot. You're in the enemies anyways, like you don't need the 900 radius. You can even get the level 10 talent, also no more region from 10% to 20%. Good buff to the innate, I guess. Medusa, I hope she gets nerfed into the ground. Let's see. Mystic Snake, base damage decreased. Still strong on level 1, 90 damage. A little bit less damage on level 2, 10 damage less. Like, only minor nerf to my Mystic Snake. Mana gain rescaled from 14, 15, 16, 17 to 15%. Little nerf. Not significant though. Gorgon's Grasp. Mana cost increase. Not a huge mana cost increase actually. Normally Medusa has so much mana that this is insignificant. Only in the early game maybe this will be more costly for Medusa to use. But not a huge nerf. Stone Gaze mana cost increase also from 200 to 250. In my opinion, this is not enough to nerf Medusa right now. Offlane Medusa is such a pain to play against. And this is, in my opinion, not enough. They need to nerf like the mana region, the int gain, or something else. Actually, this is not enough to nerf Medusa into ground. Can still be played as a carry was in position 3. Oh, I don't like the nerfs. Should be more. Mepo, base armor decreased. Actually, huge nerf to Mepo. Every time base armor is decreased on heroes, especially in the early game, it's quite a huge nerf to the heroes. You receive way more damage against right clicks. Facets Divided we stand. Clone stats increase from 85 to 90%. Okay, that's a little buff for Maple. I'm not a Maple player. There are not many out there. But I guess this is worse for Maple than this. Is a buff, I guess. So overall, a little buff, a little nerf for Maple. Mirana, facets, leaps and bounds. No one plays this because you don't want to jump onto someone actually, and the Starfall talent is way better. Root duration increased from 1.1 on level 1 to 1.5. Actually, long route, but most of the times you really don't want to stand in someone with your. You don't want to leap onto someone. You're just gonna die. You have no HP. You have no real HP pool, no way to heal up. You don't want this facet actually. It doesn't change anything for Mirana. Marky King, remove the Wukong's Fateful Facet. Got the new one. Changing of the guard. While Wukong's command is active, Maki King gains the Changing of the Guard ability, which allows him to transform into any one of his soldiers. Upon cast, Maki King takes the place of the soldier closest to the target location for 1.5 seconds, and leaves another one in his stead. While transfigured, Maki King is indistinguishable from other soldiers and invulnerability, but can't issue commands. Let's test this. Where's the guy? Here. This is actually quite nice. I need to turn the audio down 1 minute. Oh, we got a new menu, which we can look after we look to the patch notes. Let's do it again. So you can like walk around, then you can decide where you want to go. Imagine someone comes from this side, you want to go somewhere else. You can just... Well, that's actually quite good. Guess huge buff to Monkey, I think. Yeah, I like it. Makes them even more elusive in fights. Very strong buff. Primal Spring cast range decreased from 1k to 800. Huge nerf. Makes your initiate less strong. Gives you less escape. Jingle Mastery counter duration decreased from 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds to 5.5, 7, 8.5, 10 seconds. This makes you way more. This makes you way weaker in online, I guess. Yeah, makes you way weaker. But on level 4 is the same, but your lane will be way weaker, especially also with a cast range decrease. But this facet is really good. I think this will be the #1 picked facet on Monkey King. Next up, Morphling. Another one of my favorite heroes. I hope they nerfed him. Strength gain decreased. Oh, that's actually quite good. Huge nerf. From 3.2 to 2.6. Base mana region decreased from 0.5 to 0. Shift rate decreased for both for strength and agility. Morph replicate sub-ability cooldown increased from 1 to 2 seconds. Okay, actually this is a really good nerf for Morphling. So players. Base mana region also Morphling has mana problems in the early game, especially if I harass him very much. Base mana region decreased. Like imagine you play 2 minutes on lane, he has 80 mana less. 60 mana less because of this nerf. Yeah, can maybe use 1 wave less on the lane. But especially the strength gain decrease makes him weaker, so he can't attribute shift that much strength. The shift rate also makes you maybe kill him once or twice more. Especially like in the mid game, only 8 and 12 instead of 10 and 15. That's huge decrease here. The replicates sub ability cooldown, so we can swap, can't swap like between the two forms all the time. Also, huge nerf. Level 20 talent agility decreased from 20 to 15. Yeah, huge shoots, huge nerfs to Morphling. Very much needed. This hero is fucking overpowered in my opinion right now. But I guess this makes him less overpowered. Especially the strength gain and the base mana region and the shift rate decrease makes him easier to play against, I guess. Muerta, remove the Ofrenda facet. I guess because some people just use it to kill themselves at the mid lane all the time. Or in the enemy base. That's how many people agree with this facet. Yeah. New facet, quick draw. Deadshot. Whenever an enemy is feared, Gunslinger proc chance increases to 1.5 base chance for 5 seconds. Okay. Gunslinger. Each time Gunslinger procs, the remaining Deadshot cooldown is reduced by 1 second. Okay, that's pretty nice as a Muerta carry, which we don't see that often anymore. Most of the times Muerta is played as a support. But I guess this is quite good again on Muerta carries. Makes you a Deadshot very often in teamfights. And the other way around, you are doing very much huge AoE damage if you Deadshot someone. Quite good. Level 20 talent, 2 Deadshot charges replaced with 2 pierced veil duration. Also good for meta carries. 2 seconds more on pierced veil, quite strong. Level 25 talent, 25 magic resistance replaced with 2 Deadshot charges. Actually, I think good changes for Muerta if you pick this talent and this talent at 25 as a carry. Quite good. Maybe makes Muerta valid again as a carry. But she needs like some mobility, I guess. But let's see. We will see in the coming days. Naga Siren. Basic ability increased from 21 to 22 and damage increased by 1 on level 1. Makes the laning a little bit easier. Not a huge buff, but every ability helps, I guess. Facets. Deluge. No longer reduces enemy status resistance. Damage increased. Makes movement speed decreased from 200. Actually, I don't even know what this does. Didn't see Naga this often this patch. Let's have a look. Okay, that's like the rolling around with water thing that was a skill like 1 year ago. Yeah, I guess helps Naga maybe to do something on the lane. And Snare, Aghanim Scepter now also plays break to the target. This is fucking good, actually. This is really fucking good. Everything that breaks, like heroes like Tide or Bristle, get fucked by this Aga quite hard. So really huge buff. Maybe for maybe we see more position for Naga Sirens against heroes like Tide or like Bristle. No, quite good. Song of the Siren, cooldown decreased. Yeah, also nice, quite good buff, especially early. 160 seconds instead of 180. Helps you get out of team fights, helps you reset the team fights or set up for your team. Quite good. Level 25 talent, instant replace break, replace with 25 agility. Yeah, okay, because we have this on Aghanim Scepter now. Oh, Nature's Prophets. New facets. Attack range decreased from 620 to 600. Actually, Nature's Prophets also very good carry right now. Can be played as an offlane or as a 4. Can remove the Ironwood Tree and Facet. Thank God, man. This fucking Facet was so overpowered when he got level 25. I don't know if you had it in your games, but if Nature's Prophet gets got level 25, he just kills a Rex with a fucking Treant. You had to buy Dagons to kill the tree. I don't know. That was like brain dead. Actually, now he has Nature's Prophet. Whenever an enemy hero is killed by Nature's Prophet or dies within 750 range of him, 2 seconds later a money tree grows in their place. Each tree spawns 2 gold bags every second, which can be picked up by any hero. Each gold bag grants gold equal to 1.5 of the killed hero's level. Each money tree has a lifespan of 3 seconds. Gold bags are created in a 200 radius around blah blah blah. Let's just try this out. So if you kill someone, you get like a money tree. Let's have a look. Let's see how much this gives on level 1, I guess. Let's get some damage. Okay, this gives nothing really. It gave me like 6 gold. Or was it because... Let's give him some more levels. It was 6 times 9 gold on level 6. Okay, that is not really much gold. I don't know, maybe it's good in team fights. Yeah, I don't know. That's not good in comparison with the Ironwood Tree Infested. I don't know about this. Healing mechanic rework for soothing saplings. Now enchants all trees at a 1.2k radius around the sprout. Each enchanted tree emits a no longer hits buildings. Heal per second increased. So let's have a look. Can I change my facet? Yeah. So when I sprout every tree, okay, every tree will heal me down. Heal per second, we'll scale it through 50. How long does it last? How long does the heal last? Let's see. As long as my sprout lasts? Okay. So we have 4 seconds duration. Like 200 heal every time you sprout. It's quite good on lane, I guess. I don't know about the Nature's Prophet talent. I guess this is better on lane. Gives you just more lane stability. Also heals your friends in team fights. I guess that's the talent to pick, but I'm not quite sure about this one. Especially if you compare it to the Ironwood Tree Infested. I would pick this, I guess. Also, you can, on level 15, you can get 30% more sprout heal per second. Yeah, I like this facet actually now. Sprout damage decreased. Only, not by a lot. Teleportation barrier decreased. Okay, quite fine, I guess. Yeah, overall, huge nerfs to natures because the Ironwood Tree Infestant was very strong. I guess online you're only skilling teleports right now. You're not getting 1 level in treants. Yeah, and I think this is the facet to go. I'm not quite sure about this. Nature's Prophet talent. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. I guess soothing Zeppelins is the way to go. Also, maybe this makes him viable as a 5 or as a 4. I'm gonna try it out. Necrophos. Sadist. Mana region per kill increased. Yeah, very nice for Necro on lane, especially mid lane. Death Pulse heal increased. Oh, also very strong on lane. Although it doesn't sound much, but this adds up, especially if you have more mana and can use 1 or 2 Death Pulses more with your mana pool. Quite good for Necro. Level 10 talent, plus 125 Reaper's Thighs cast range replaced with 2.5 Ghost Shot cooldown. Also, I guess, good talent. Yeah, the Ghost Shot cooldown is way better than the cast range, I guess. Nice buffs for Necro. Will be played more often now. Night Stalker. Facets Voidbringer. Void now has movements now also increased movement slow from 50 to 60%. Level 5 now increases attack speed slow from 50 to 60. Okay. Not huge buff, but I guess Night Stalker takes everything he can because he was not very strong last patch compared to like Beastmaster X Legion. Yeah, with 20 talent strength decrease from 20 to 15 makes him a little bit weaker, a little nerf, but I guess this makes up for it. Not huge changes for Night Stalker. Next Assassin. His innate radius increased. This makes you see invisible units around you, by the way. Spike Carapace, cooldown decreased, especially on level 1. Yeah, quite nice. That was 23 seconds, was quite long. Cooldown on level 1. Made it very hard for Nyx to use it often. This makes it easier, actually. Nice buffs to Nyx. Ogre Magi. Base strength increased from 23 to 25. Also damage increased on level 1. And the slow got rescaled. It's stronger on level 1 now. And level 2, but weaker on level 4. Yeah, I don't know if Ogre needed more buffs on lane in the early game. He was quite strong, but anyways, he got it. More HP at level 1, more damage on level 1, and a little bit better slow until level 5. Yeah, nice boss for Ogre. Omni Knight, Hammer of Purity, mana cost decreased to 0. Okay. Now briefly slows the target movement speed by 75%, and also increases attack range by 75 for the hit. Yeah, that's what Omni Knight needed actually. Was quite hard to hit the hammer. I didn't see much Omni Knight played in the last patch. Maybe this makes him viable again, especially the mana cost of 0. Makes him use this just all the time on lane, I guess. Also the movement speed, so your carry can connect, like, although it's only 0.2 seconds, it's often enough to get like 1 or 2 hits out. Especially the range increase is pretty good for Omni. Overall, good buffs for Omni. Oracle, attack range increased by 5. Not a huge buff, but I guess helps him to lane. Abilities. No foretells which power rune will spawn. Pressing Alt will now display which rune will spawn and the timer before it spawns. Okay, I guess before it only got into the chat. Now you can press Alt and it shows the rune, which is quite nice for the mid laner, so he doesn't need to read the chat all the time. Quite good. Cast range rescaled on level 1. The other helps you on lane also. A little bit worse at level 4. But this helps you on lane. Maybe you can save your carry once or twice more with a more range on this, because normally you don't get more points than 1 point in it on lane. Especially in the early game. Later, of course, you will have this on level 4, but in the early game you only have 1 point in this. OD. Only talent changes. Level 10 talent. Mana decreased from 250 to 200. Makes him deal less damage. Yeah, also makes him maybe have 1 banish less. I don't know. Little nerf, not game changing. Level 15, current mana as movement speed decreased from 1 to 0.8. Less mobility for OD. Level 20 talent, Sanity's Eclipse mana difference multiplier decreased from 0.2 to 0.15. Actually, some needed nerfs for OD. OD was very strong, or is quite strong this patch. Some little nerfs, not that game changing, but helps other heroes, especially in the mid lane, I guess, in the mid game, I guess. Bangalore, double jump facet. Damage barrier increased. Yeah, that's fine. A little more tanky for the offlane in the early game. Helps him to play the lane, also for the mid lane. But I don't know, I didn't play Pango this much that patch. Are we even taking this facet? Yeah, I guess you take it. Never mind. Also, the level 15 talent, shield crush barrier per hero increased, so makes you a little bit more tanky. Overall, not game changing, but helps you on the lane, I guess. Yay! Blur is now an innate ability that it improves with your ult, no longer dispelled when near enemy outposts, watchers, or base buildings other than towers, ancients. Okay, no dispelled when attacking Roche or enemy barracks. This is quite a huge nerf. Can be targeted when attacking barracks now before you hit someone, you need someone to blink in or something. This is quite a huge nerf, actually. Also, this is a huge nerf. You could Roche like without getting any damage. Now upgraded with Aghanim's shot, decrease cooldown, and when you get a hero kill ability, oh. That is actually quite good shot now. That was a Aghanim scepter, not... Well, am I mistaken? Let me have a look. What does Aghanim scepter do now? Okay, they changed the cooldown thingy to shard, and now Fed of Knives is scepter. Which helps heroes like Tide and Bristle, because normally as a PA you don't want to get an Aghanim scepter, you need to itemize something else. But if you want to have the break now, you need to get the Aghanims. This is a nice buff to her if you don't need any break actually to get the shard, because it's way cheaper. But this is a nerf against heroes that you want to break. Also, they buffed the break duration from 3 to 4, obviously, because the item is like 3 times more expensive. But overall, it's a nerf against heroes that you want to break. But overall, it's quite a buff, I guess, with a shard. Helps you to jump around in the team fights. And now your evasion is a ability you need to skill, right? Let me have a look. So you have Blur as a normal spell all the time. You don't need to skill it, but you need to skill the evasion now, which is quite shitty for your laning build, because you actually want to skill like 2 in Q and 1 in Phantom Strike, and you only get Immaterial then on level 4. Which helps a lot of offlane heroes on the lane actually. Overall, I would say PA got nerfed, but we will see. That this is a basic ability and not his her innate now. Quite a huge nerf, in my opinion. But actually, if you just skill it through, it's stronger in the mid game. But makes you way weaker on the lane. I guess it's a nice nerf. You can't snowball that hard if you won't have this good that good of a lane anymore as a PA. PL base health region increased from 1.5 to 2. Okay, makes him strong on lane. Spirit Lance no longer upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. Phantom Rush no upgrade with Aghanim Scepter. Increases max rush distance by 6 to 5 whenever he creates juxtapose illusions that attack them. Huh. In my opinion, huge nerf. Phantom Lancer Wasn't strong anyways. I mean, 6 to 5 isn't that much distance. With your Phantom Rush, you won't run through like 4 heroes and create 1,000 illusions. The How you played Lancer was like you spammed the Spirit Lance until you had enough illusions and then you went in with your main hero and illusions. Now you just need to run with it into the fight with your illusions and you just die. I don't know. This is like not a good thing for Lancer. Huge nerf, I guess. Wasn't strong anyways, so now even worse. Especially also the level 20 talent Phantom Rush range replaced with 15 Spirit Lance illusion damage. Yeah, I don't know. Huge nerf. Phoenix. Hotspot. Facet. Sunray. Max damage and heal increased from 150 to 160. Really nice. Phoenix. Sunray is very strong. Also got buffed a bit. Helps Phoenix to deal more damage and even more heal in the team fights. Level 20 talent got buffed. Stun duration increased to 0.6 seconds if you skill it. Overall, good buffs to Phoenix. Not game changing, but helps Phoenix to win one or more, win the win more team fights, I guess. Puck, Facet's Curveball now makes Orb deal 5% of its damage every 0.5 seconds in its damage radius. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Most of the times, Puck doesn't play with this facet, right? Can you like? I never played Puck. I'm not a mid player. Okay, you can like do like this. It looks funny. I don't know. I'm not a Puck player actually. Can't tell you if it's good or not. Putsch. I got a setter instead of reducing healing, health regen, lifesteal, spell lifesteal, now reduces health restoration by 20. Like I said, it's just word clutter that got reduced. Nothing changed. Nothing changed here. Hooknar Facet, Rewards of Ruin, Spell Amp per tower increased to 1.5%. You're not playing this facet, you're playing the other facet, the one that heals you with a ward. Even if this got buffed, it's not worth it. Decreepify, cast range increased. Oh, that's quite good. Helps you on level 1. Same on level 4. This is a good buff for Pugna. This is irrelevant. Queen of Pain. Bondage. Returning spell damage increased from 15 to 20%. This is actually a huge nerf for Queen of Pain because most of the times players went Dagon, which just countered this facet and you got the spell damage only. And now you're still receiving damage. You need some other form of healing. Yeah. Huge nerf to Queen of Pain. We will see when we go through the items. I guess still remains a huge nerf to Queen of Pain. Also a much needed nerf. Shadow Strike. Movement slow rescaled from 20 up to 65 to 25 to 55. It makes him a little bit stronger on lane, a little bit less strong in the late game. Yeah. Not a huge change, but this is a huge change. Even though it's only 5% damage, this is a huge change, you will see in this patch. Razor, Dynamo, spell amp per bonus attack damage increased from 1 to 1.25. Mm, I don't know. I guess quite good for Razor. 25% increase with this buff. That's quite good. Ricky, not much changes. Level 10 talent cloak and dagger movement speed increased. No one's taking this normally, I guess. Maybe now you can pick it. What's the other? No. Normally, you're still picking the smoke screen radius. Level 25, talent, cloak and dagger fatigue reduction increased from 1 to 1.25 seconds, which means you have 0.7 seconds fade delay, but the other 25 talent with the dispel oftentimes better because you can just dispel your dust or any other stuff you have on you. You're taking this not very often, actually, and this is quite shit against the smoke screen radius. Ringmaster. Dark Carnival Barker, if we granted one up on death instead of up on respawn. Okay. Doesn't change much, in my opinion. Ringmaster will no longer be granted a souvenir if he has no souvenirs and dies to a neutral creeper Roche. Okay. I don't know if people went into Roche at minute 0 to have one or something. I don't know. Escape Act. Mana cost increased from 80 to 120. Huge nerf. You have not much mana on Ringmaster in the early game, especially when you always use your impalement arts on lane. You're always mana starved. Bonus movement speed rescaled. Yeah, this doesn't matter that much, I guess, but this does matter on lane. Also in the mid game. Impalement arts, impact damage decreased. Also a huge nerf on lane for Ringmaster. Not so in the mid and late game, but in the early game, this is a huge nerf combined with this Spotlight. Illusion max health loss each second decreased from 50% to 30. Okay, also huge nerf, especially against heroes like Terrorblade, PL, which is not played anyways, but Terrorblade is played much. Morphling, Manta, and so on. This is a huge nerf. Level 10 talent, 200 escape, a cast range replaced with 75. Okay, you get the damage here, which you lost here, and you get even more damage, but have less cast range. I don't know. Overall, huge nerfs. Especially the mana cost increase, the impact damage, and this one in some situations, like if you play against Terrorblade or Morphling with Manta Illusions. Overall, Ringmaster, huge nerfs. Will still be played because this hero is very good right now. But some nerfs, but needed nerfs. Not game changing, but makes him a little bit less strong. Rubik. Telekinesis cooldown decreased by 1 second for each level. Yeah. Good buff for Rubik. Space Steal. Certain spells that are toggleable and do not have a health or mana cost are no longer stealable. Okay. Mars Bulwark, Medusa Split Shot, Murder Gunslinger, and Phantom Lenses, Phantom Rush. Okay. Sand King. Remove Sand Shroud and Dust Devil facets. Oh, that's interesting. He probably just got Invis again with Sandstorm, right? Yeah, he does. I like it actually. Didn't like the two facets before. Sandblast, Sandstorm. When Sand King takes enemies in Sandstorm, he applies a debuff that blinds the target by 20, 30, 40, 50%. Blind duration 5 seconds. That's quite good. Online. Really good. Final Sting. Stinger. Each enemy hit by Stinger in the innermost radius instantly emits a caustic final explosion that deals 50% less damage. Oh, it's also huge damage actually. On lane. Caustic final. Base damage increased to 20, 40, 60, 80. Dying units max health as damage decreased by 1% at level 4. Sandstorm radius increased. Like I said, gives you the invisibility again. Stinger, radius rescaled. A little bit less at level 4, more on... No, it's not more. It's more on level 1. Bonus damage rescaled. A little bit more on level 1. Hmm. Not quite sure which facet to pick actually. Both are very good. Yeah, we need to see how this plays out. It's actually interesting. I didn't like the facets before. Was quite useless. You had to get the facet to be invis in Sandstorm. This looks quite good now, I guess. Interesting. Shadow Demon. Banners. Damage amplification per stack increased from 2 to 2.5. Okay, not a not game changing actually. Shadow Fiend. Shadow Race. Movement slow per stack increased. Well, this spike's actually raises on level 1 really strong. Necromastery. Hero kits now grant 3 souls. Okay. If we get like First Blood, quite good on Shadow Fiend now. Not that it was bad before, but even better. Feast of Souls, cooldown increased from 16 to 21, mana cost increased, duration rescaled, now more movement speed. Okay, that's a good buff. This is not so good for Shadow Fiend. And level 15, Talent Presence Aura effects building replaced with 2 presence armor reduction. Okay, this makes you push towers way slower, actually, but this is better against heroes. Oh, I don't know what to think about this. This was really good to push towers. I guess this was better before, actually. Yeah, I guess the facet was better before. The talent, I mean. This is really strong now with the raises, especially in the early game. If you catch someone off guard, he's not gonna run away now. Let me have a look. I don't know. Maybe you can play this now, I guess. You didn't play it before, but I guess you can play this now. Let's see how this works out. I'm interested, but this is really strong online. Shadow Shaman. Massive Sabbath one. No one played this because the right click chicken finger facet was so good. And now damage multiplier increased from 10 to 12. Hmm. It's actually quite. You have one summon one that did 600 damage with each hit. I I actually played this facet sometimes. I think it's really good. It was good before because you can push towers with it and the enemy can't really defend towers. But the chicken finger facet it's just too good to miss, I guess. But I will try this in my games. And on creation was not prioritized the closest hero in the attack range, but it's also quality of life improvement, especially for players that are not used to playing the hero. Yeah, actually, I need to try this. 600 damage on level 6 with every hit just kills everyone actually. Silencer. Oh, thank God they removed the reverberating silence facet. Synaptic split. Increase the max level of Glaives of Wisdom to 5. Number of times. Okay, this is okay. Glaive of Wisdom. Level 5 Glaives make Glaives bounce now. Before it was a talent. On level 20, I think. Mhm. Glaives no longer upgrade with a Arcanum's shard. This actually makes him maybe a carry again. Or a mid. So what's good, they nerfed the reverberating silence facet, which was a fucking joke if you bought BKB and got silenced afterwards again, or Yules and or Manta and was still was silenced. not fun to play against. So I'm really happy they removed this facet. This makes me think he can be played as an carry or as a mid now. What's the second one? Silencer deals 10, 15, 20, 25 more damage to silenced targets and takes less damage from them. Improves with global silence. Let me have a look. Hmm. Actually, in teamfights can help you very, very much now. It's like just overall damage decrease in teamfights against every silenced target is really, really good for supports. Obviously, the other silence was way better, but this is also quite good, in my opinion. And this makes me think he can be played as a carry now, or as a mid hero. If you get the what's so good about this facet is if you get the level 5 glaives, your farming speed increases by a lot, actually, by by a lot. And the huge problem Silencer had is he couldn't farm at all. He couldn't farm anything because you have no fucking damage or no AoE to farm. But now with the level 5 glaives, actually, you are able to farm jungle and lanes pretty fast. Okay, level 20 talent, 1 glaives of wisdom bounce replaced with 40 seconds glaives of wisdom in steel duration. Yeah, feels like Slark now, no? Quite. Yeah. I think Silencer can be played as a carry now, actually. With this facet, at level 5 glaives, he can just farm a lot. Then he's gonna take level 20 glaives of wisdom in steel duration and you can fight non-stop with your team. I guess Silencer is quite a good carry now. Skyroth Mage. Base int increased, makes him deal more damage. Level 1 damage increased. Also gives him more mana regen. A good buff for Skyroth. Wasn't played much as a support in the last patch. Helps him to get more pick rate, I guess. Level 10 talent. You get 125 arcane bolt cast range. Helps to stay out of range of the team fights and of other spells. Level 25 talent. Arcane bolt pierces spell immunity. Replaced with 1.5 arcane bolt in multiplayer. Helps to do way more damage, I guess. Yeah, helps to actually do way more damage at level 25. Let's see how this plays out. Actually, this buff is quite good against Scarab, helps you on lane. And yeah, I guess at level 10 you can cast more spells outside of range of the enemies with this talent. Actually, quite good boss, in my opinion, for Skyroth. Starter, base armor decrease. Also, like we talked with Gyro, base armor decrease in early game. Always huge nerf. Especially for melee heroes, if you get harassed way more on lane. Maybe you're forced to buy a Ring of Protection now, so you don't get countered on lane. Abilities, C1 Sentinel, bonus armor increased. Okay, never mind. Did he just get more armor now? Or is this one is in water, right? Yeah, when he's in the puddle trail river. Okay, never mind. So actually, still the armor decrease, huge nerf for Slaughter on lane. This makes him stronger if he's in a river or mid lane. Mid lane Slaughter gives him more armor. You have 1 armor more now in a river. And Agano Setter bonus armor decrease from 11 to 10. Yeah. This is a huge nerf on lane. For mid lane, this is better. Actually, not a not game changing. Actually, Slug. Asset shift duration decreased from 20 to 40. What I'm talking. Duration decreased 20, 40, 60, 80 to 15, 35, 55, and 75 seconds. Actually, huge nerf in early game. Online. In late game doesn't change much, the 5 seconds, but in the online, the early game makes him weaker online actually. Depth Shroud, cast range decreased from 600 to 400. Yeah, that's also quite huge nerf. If you didn't know, SC ult got so if LC ults someone with the duel and you depth shroud him from far away, the duel just breaks. Something like this can't really happen now because Slug needs to be way closer, especially like the position 4 Slugs we're seeing right now. So huge nerf actually for Slug. Snapfire. Buckshot. Auto attack bonus damage on non-glancing shots increased from 25 to 30. Okay, not game changing. Level 20 talent. Plus 60 Mortimer kisses impact damage replaced with 2 Fire Snap cookie charges. That's actually quite good. Imagine a carry running after you and he just jumps on you with 2 Fire Snap cookies. Quite good buff. Sniper, take aim, bonus attack range rescaled from 200. Makes him way weaker online now. But stronger in early game because he has 50 range more. No longer increase armor, okay. This makes him way squishier than before. While active, Sniper's vision range is increased by 500 to 125. And his field of view is restricted to a 140 degree cone. He still shares vision with his team. Which means he can't see behind him, right? If someone sneaks up behind him, he's not gonna see them. Okay. In my opinion, huge nerfs to Sniper, especially in the early game, because you only have the 100 range, level 1, 150, level 2. Also, you can't see if you're getting ganked from behind if you take aim. Huge nerf to Sniper. Also, very needed, annoying hero in my opinion. Spectre, Desolate, Radius decreased from 400 to 350. Shadow Step, duration rescaled. Horn, duration decreased. Nothing really changed actually. The Desolate, one moment. Let me have a look. This is actually buff. If you have before, if you have a hero in 400 range around you, you will deal no Desolate damage, but now you need 350 range hero around you to do more damage. Actually, nothing game changing though. Not much will change for Spectre. Spirit Breaker, Planar Rocket, Pocket. Ability reworked. Now is a unit targeted ability. Bar gains 75% magic resistance and distorts reality around the selected hero, making any unit targeted spell cast by enemy heroes on a target to get redirected towards Spirit Breaker. Can be cast both on allied and enemy heroes, but only spells cast by enemies of Spirit Breaker will be redirected. Cast range 700. iOS Tether is the only exception that will ignore this effect. Redirected spells are not considered as reflected. If Spiritbreaker is under effects such as Lotus Orb, actual redirected spells will be reflected back to the enemy caster. Cooldown, let's just try this, actually. We need the shards. Right? No. We need the Organums. So, Actually cool if you was like a Lotus Orb actually. You can give your teammates. Maybe makes position 4 or 5 Bara viable with Arganas. Especially if you play against heroes like Beastmaster, Lion, Rasta, everything that can disable your carry. Especially when you have Bulldoze on. This won't be long on you, the debuffs. I actually like it. Quite funny change. Now let's see how this works out. But I think quite good for as a position 4 or 5 bar. Techies, base movement speed increased. Nothing else. Quite good for Techies. Techies wasn't very mobile. Nothing else changed. Still pretty good buff for Techies, especially in the early game. Helps you harass the enemy way more. I like it. TA. Melt armor reduction decreased from 5 at level 1 to 3.5. Huge nerf to TA, which was really needed. Especially the combo, the double melt combo when she was online with you, where you got debuffed like this. Bonus damage also decreased. Yeah. Makes the lane way, way, way harder for TA now. Which is good actually. The hero was very strong. Much needed nerfs. Psionic Trap. Silence duration decreased from 1 to 1 to 0.25 seconds. Also very huge nerf. Melt till level 10 talent, melt debuff duration decreased to 5 seconds. Level 15 talent, 100 Psyblade attack and split range replaced with 3 melt armor reduction. Overall, huge nerfs to TA, which were much needed. TB, base health region decreased from 1.5 to 0.5 HP per second. Also huge nerf to Terrorblade, like I talked earlier, I don't know which hero it was. The health region decrease in early game makes a huge difference. Imagine you're playing like 3-4 minutes on your lane. 4 minutes is 240 seconds, which would be a 240 HP you regen just from your base health region. So actually huge nerf to Terrorblade on lane. Mana cost increased for reflection, also needed. Terrorblade hasn't that much mana if he fucking spams the reflection all the time. Most of the heroes in the early game can't contest him in lane. Making it cost more mana helps especially the offlane heroes. Meta, bonus damage rescaled, makes less damage on level 1, but more damage on level 4. Also makes him weaker in the lane. Demon Seal, bonus movement speed decrease from 100 to 60. Yeah, I don't know. This is, in my opinion, a good nerf. Also, this on lane. This one I'm not so sure about. I think, yeah, it's a buff for mid game and late game, but worse on lane for you. Timbersaw, exposure therapy. Mana gain on Treacle increased from 4567 to 46810. This is a buff for his innate. Helps him stay in the lane longer, helps him farm. Flamethrower, building damage increased. Yeah, whatever. It's not gonna push your tower solo anyways. Level 10, talent reactive armor regeneration per stack increased by 0.05%. Yeah, good buff, I guess, for Timber. Level 20, talent exposure therapy heals per tree destroyed increased from +7 to 10. Yeah. Overall, this is a good buff, actually, for Timber. The other ones, like, not game changing. Tinker, base armor decreased. Like we talked earlier, base armor decrease always in the early game. Really huge nerf, especially on Inchiro who doesn't have that much HP. Base armor decrease, really huge. I don't know, let's take a look how much base armor Tinker now has. So now you only have 4 base armor, which means you have 22 physical resists. And if you have a look, 1 second, we want a ring. That was his physical resist before. 29, now 22. It's like a 7% more damage you receive from auto attacks, which is huge in early game. Also, March of the Machines damage decreased, also very much needed, especially on level 1. Only does 13 damage, that's like 20% less damage. Overall, needed nerfs for Tinker. I would have loved to see like a nerf to the shell, but whatever. This makes his early game way weaker. Especially he won't farm that fast at level 3 and woods on position 4 or 5, which also helps against Tinker. Next hero, Tiny. 3 grab, attack range decreased. Okay, huge nerf actually makes him so he needs to go in further to deal damage. Grow attack speed reduction increased, even less attack speed for Tiny. Avalanche damage decreased. On level 1 it's actually the same, and then it gets worse. But you can get a level 15 talent now for the avalanche damage. Overall, in my opinion, huge nerfs to Tiny. Tiny was very good this patch. Will still be good, not game-changing nerfs, but much needed nerfs in my opinion. Treant Protector. Didn't see much Treant in the last patch actually. Let's see what they did here. Nature Skies, damage taken cooldown decreased from 3 to 2.75 seconds. This helps you deal damage on the lane, in the laning stage. Living armor, duration increased. Okay, whatever. Overgrowth, cooldown decreased by 10 seconds for every level. Sorry guys. Yeah, cooldown decrease for your ult helps you in teamfights. Overall, this won't make him very viable, in my opinion. But some buffs help him to be picked in some of the games. Troll Warlord, Berserker's Rage, main damage increased from 5, 10, 15, 20 to 10, 50, 20, 25. Okay, I don't know. This won't make him viable. His ult is just terrible. I don't think anyone will play Troll in competitive. In my opinion, this hero is not very good. His ult just get countered by like Yields or disarm. Until he has his BKB, he's not gonna do anything. In my opinion, very bad carry right now. This won't help him to be viable. Analot. Demon's Reach no longer loses cleave on death. Okay. Has it Abyssal Horde? Damage type change from default to Runty. From default to piercing. For those who didn't play Warcraft, default damage was the normal melee damage, which did 100% damage to heroes. And there were different armor types and stuff. Having the archer deal piercing damage deals only 75% of their damage to heroes. I don't even know what Runty is. Runty wasn't in Warcraft 3. I don't know, but I guess that will deal less damage. Actually, nerf to both. To Abyssal Horde, they deal less damage. This, I don't know, never seen anyone play with right-click Analot in Immortal MMR. I don't know, maybe it's when you're playing like a lower MMR, this could work, but I don't know. Didn't see this on Immortal MMR. Undying, base damage increased by 2. Yeah, helps him a little bit harassing on lane. The heal got rescaled, worse on level 1, better on level 4. Yeah, whatever. Not by much, actually. This helps him a little bit on lane. Not game changing though. Ursa. Level 15 talent enrage status resistance increased from 20% to 25%. It's actually quite good, not game changing, but helps also against stun combos. Edge. Base ability increased from 21 to 23. Damage at level 1 increased by 2. Well, Avenge was played a lot on offline, like 1 or 2 patches ago. This patch in 7.38c, it wasn't played that often. Maybe this helps with a laning stage. I don't see this enough of a buff to make him viable as position 3 though. The magic missile stun duration got increased by 0.1% for every level. Also not a huge increase. Not enough to make him viable on offlane. You can play him maybe as a 4 or 5, but not as an offlane. Don't think the ability increase makes him viable. Level 20 Talent Wave of Terror deals reduced damage and armor increased from 20 to 25. This is actually quite strong. 25, 5% more damage and armor. But you need to get to level 20 and that's a long road for Venge. Venomancer. Black Carrier got reworked. Septic Shock allows Black Bots to deal Septic Shock based on their damage. This was the Arganims before. Venomous Gale. When Venomous Gale impacts enemy heroes, 2 Black Bots are created. This is gonna get the new cancer, I'm telling you. This was your talent, I think, at level 15 before. And this was your Arganims before. If you're playing the Black Carrier now, you can just dominate the lane, I guess. But we will see. But I think this is fucking strong. I'm gonna try this out on offlane. Septic Shock. Arganim Scepter no longer gives Blackbots the ability to deal Septic Shock damage. Yeah, obvious, because you have this in your facet. Base damage per debuff increased, okay. Arganim Scepter base damage per debuff increased by 20 to 25. Okay. Blackward HP increase, even with the Black Carrier facet. Gold Bounty also less on level 1, a little bit more on level 4. And level 20 Talon Gale creates Blackbots replaced with 50 base damage. This will be the fucking new cancer. I'm just gonna play it in the next. I'm gonna start the game after this video and I'm just gonna play the shit out of this. This is gonna be fun. Viper. Poison attack. Mana cost decreased. Helps Viper. Actually, although it's only 2 mana, Viper is like a shitty mana pool. This helps him to hit like 2 or 3 more poison attacks. Viper Strike. Attack slow increased. Actually, 20 attack slow on level 6. Quite strong. This doesn't change much, level 3, but in the early game, this, in my opinion, is quite strong. You won't be able to fight Viper when your attack slowed. Visage, not many changes, level 25. Gravekeeper's Cloak armor increased from 10 to 15. Okay, whatever. Void Spirit. Oh, huge changes. Base agility increased. Quite good for him. Gives him more attack speed, more damage. Abilities. Innate, Intrinsic Edge. The tooltip now shows the current values. Okay, cool. Ether Remnant. Damage increased by 5. Okay, just 5 for every level. Fine, I guess. Not game changing. Arganim's Shard Reworked creates an additional Watcher path that rotates around the Remnant, providing true sight, which is good. Remnants no longer trigger on creeps, instead doing 50%. Oh, that is amazing, I guess. Let me try this out. I'm not a Void player actually, don't. I'm just talking out of my mind right now. Creates an additional that's okay. Also you have like that's crazy actually. That's actually crazy. If you don't hit your shit, it's just gonna yeah, that's really good actually. He creeps. Actually helps you to farm also if you have like level 7. Yeah, farms really good. Farms really good actually. Also the rotating thingy, quite good. Actually nice changes to Void, makes them very strong, in my opinion. Resonant Pulse, also damage increased. Talent changes. Ether Remnant damage replaced with Resonant Pulse damage. Okay. Mana region decreased at level 10. Probably taking this at level 10. Level 15, 70 Resonant Pulse damage with Ether Remnant damage. And I forgot, this gives True Sight, which helps you de-ward everything, actually. Also against the Invis heroes, so they can't gank you anymore. But especially the de-warding helps you, also gives you more farm when getting the wards. That's really, really good, actually. Forgot to talk about this, actually. Level 15 also, you can skill 20% Resonant Pulse Barrier. Okay. Level 20, Astral Step Charge Restore Time Reduction decreased from 4 to 3 seconds. Okay. In my opinion, huge buffs to Void Spirit. You will see him more often in your games now. Especially the rotating thingy. And you can farm with the remnants now, and your remnants don't get caught by creeps. Really strong. Warlock. Fatal Bonds. No longer applies to enemies in Fog of War. Thank God. That shit was so fucking overpowered on lane. Yeah. So if you're playing on a lane, not both heroes always get the bonds. Helps you a little bit on lane against Warlock. Effect radius of Shadow Word decrease, okay, whatever. But this is huge nerf for Warlock. Also in teamfights, not only on the laning stage, but also in teamfights, this won't bounce between all enemy heroes that you can't see, so you need to fight under vision, which is not always possible. Yeah, huge nerf. Much needed to Warlock, I guess. Windranger, Tangled, Facet, Shaggy Shot, bonus hero, bonus damage per hero increased from, oh actually, wow. Just thinking about, can you get the, if you have the talent now, do you get the 40 damage on level 1 actually? Which, that will make you deal huge damage on level 1 actually. Let me try this. Yeah, you get the fucking 40 damage. But only for, let me see how many hits you can do. Yeah, you can hit twice. Maybe 3 times? No, twice. Yeah, and more attack speed to hit 3 times, but huge damage on level 1 actually with the facet, but you're still taking the kill shot facet, obviously. Power shot, cast range increased. Yeah. Of duration. Focus fire damage reduction decreased. Gale force. Range decreased. Radius decreased, okay. Overall, you're not taking this facet. It's funny to play, I guess. I don't know, maybe if you play him as a carry or something, but as a position 4, you're still taking the kill shot facet, which is way stronger than this one. So you can execute low health enemy heroes. This is a huge buff, in my opinion, especially with the kill shot facet. Damage reduction maybe makes Vidrunner viable as a carry or something. This is a huge nerf, but the skill was really overpowered anyways, in my opinion. Overall, I would say it's neutral. This is a huge buff. This is also a good buff. This is a huge nerf. Makes it very neutral, actually. Nothing crazy. Winter Wyvern. Only talent changes. Talent damage increased on level 10 by 35 instead of 30. Splinter Bar's shadow radius decreased. Okay. Talent Blast, Splitter radius, blast stun duration decreased from 1.5 to 1.25 seconds. Not huge changes, nothing game changing. Witch Doctor, remove the Headhunter facet. I think the Headhunter facet was a facet with stun, right? Yeah, it was a stun facet which made your stun deal more damage. Malpractice, Maledict. When an enemy dies while under the effect of Maledict, 75 of what the next burst damage amount would be is dealt to all enemies in 800 units. This effect works even if the enemy dies to the last burst of damage. Sounds fun actually in teamfights. If you like burst a strength hero down and the last tick would be like 1500 damage and dealt to all enemies in 800 units. Crazy. Can be very funny actually, this facet. Very, very funny. Paralyzing Cask no longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Huge nerf actually, you can't farm jungle camps that easy anymore. Base damage increased. Now deals 20 damage more per bounce by default. Bounces rescaled from, okay, you have for level 1 3 bounces, which is huge nerf, huge buff in my opinion. But nerf, really, really huge nerf on level 4. Overall, huge nerf to Cask in my opinion. You want the more bounces actually, and you want the bonus damage to creeps. Although you're dealing more damage here. I don't know. Anyways, this is a huge nerf for the bounce. Bounce. Yeah, this is a huge nerf with the cask, but this sounds like a funny facet. Let's see how this works out. Rave King. Movement speed decrease by 5, base int decrease. This is actually... Rave King has huge mana problems in the early game. Makes him have even less mana. Vanguard. Denies on non-skeleton units no count. Yeah, of course. Vanguard wasn't strong enough, so they buffed it. So you even get skeletons if you deny your own creeps. So you have creeps faster on lane, which was really needed by Rave King, obviously. Abilities: Vampiric Spirit, Lifesteal decreased. In early game, Lifesteal decreased. Okay. No longer freezes reincarnation cooldown while Rave Dealer is active. Okay. Reincarnation can no longer be triggered by another effect of Vampiric Spirit's Rave Delay. That is fucking huge, actually. That's a huge fucking nerf to Rave King. I'll show you what this does. So, you're level 6. Imagine you have no fucking mana on the 0. And then, let me, 1 second, let me get something so I can kill. So you have no mana before. You can just press Soul Ring and you're back alive. Now you can't because this doesn't work anymore. So you can't use things that give you mana in Ray form. If you get mana burned, you're fucking dead. That's a fucking huge nerf. Also, if you if you have your reincarnation. Also, if you have your reincarnation on cooldown, it won't get off cooldown if you're in the Wraith Vampiric Spirit form. Actually, huge nerf to Wraith King. This is a fucking huge buff. I don't know why they buffed the Bone Guard facet. This facet was super strong, but this makes him by a shard against every mana burn there is really fast, which slows down his farming speed. Much needed actually. This, I don't know why they did this, but actually this is really big nerf. Next hero Zeus. Level 10 talent, 1.75 mana region replaced with one heavenly jump target. Okay, whatever. I'm not playing Zeus, but I don't think this is huge. Level 15 talent, one heavenly jump target replaced with 0.4 arc lightning cooldown. That's good for Zeus, I guess. Arc lightning cooldown. Level 25 talent, static field damage increased from 1 to 1.5. Yeah, you didn't take this talent, maybe you can take this talent now. Here's huge damage actually. Now we're going through the general updates. Afterwards, we're gonna talk about the new items, the new neutral items, and the map changes. So the Tormentor first spawn time increased from 15 to 20 minutes. Actually, quite huge change, especially in pro games and on the model MMR. You try to get the Tormentor at the exactly 50-minute mark. So now some supports maybe will buy the shard between the minutes, so the other heroes in your team have the chance to get a shard. Because some shards are just very strong. On some heroes, you just want to have the shard very early, like Witch Doctor or something. Actually, huge change, especially for the pro scene. Let's see how this plays out in the pro scene. The base barrier got decreased, makes him easier to kill, especially at minute 20. He's way more easy to kill now. Also, the barrier regeneration gain from the Tormentor got reduced, which also helps you kill the Tormentor faster. There's some there are some changes to Roche, it seems. Slam, hero duration increased. This means I think the slam ability is the attack speed slow, makes you do Roche slower, actually. Roll of Retribution, incoming damage debuff, buff duration increased from 8 to 12 seconds. This is the one, the second Roche. If you do the second Roche, you hear the roar, and this increases your damage you receive from everyone. Which is more important is the health trigger threshold increased from 80 to 85%. This alarms your enemies faster that you're doing Roche. Maybe they have 5 to 10 seconds more to approach Roche and start the team fight. The Raw can now be cast by Roche if he's silenced or stunned, okay. Also gives him a strong dispel. So you need to save your stun, actually, against Roche. Raw also triggers a message visible to everyone. Okay. For some people who play without sound, which I don't recommend actually. And he also gets more attack damage and more armor as the game gets longer. Okay. Roche got buffed a little bit harder to kill Roche, easier to kill Tormentor. Terrain changes. They actually have a good representation of this somewhere in the patch notes, I think here. Let's have a look. So, the previous version, this was the Radiant safe lane. Let's have a look how it looks now. Okay, quite huge change. The safe lane small camp got changed to this position, which makes it easier to farm actually for the safe lane carry, but also makes it more open to invading. It's easier to retreat as the safe lane carry, I think. He can just walk like this or like this, and before he had to take the turn around if he gets ganked from like this position, he had to come here. But if he pulls the creeps to this position and farms it, he can see in this direction, this direction, this direction. Can't be ganked that easily. Interesting change. Also the trees right here were a little bit changed. But this open field here makes it diving easier. You have two ways actually to dive the tower now as a Dire offlane. Interesting change. Let's see how this plays out actually in the real game. Let's see the next one. That's the Radiant mid tower, tier 2. I need to have a look first. I didn't see it yet. Okay, you have two ways to go up now. You can... This looks like there's a creep camp. I don't know. We need to look in-game. Actually, this makes it actually easier to get behind your tier 2 tower for the Dire team. Also very interesting. You have three ways up now, right? Yeah, let's see how this plays out. Interesting change, actually. Yeah. The third change, the mid tier 1 for Radiant. What did they change? They changed the cliff a little bit. This space is wide open now. Makes warding a little bit easier, I think, so you can see more in every direction. Especially when you don't have your tier 1 anymore. But still, this is not a huge change like the first picture we saw on the Radiant bottom lane. That's actually not a huge change. Only made the cliff a little bit broader so you can have more space like here. It doesn't change much. Let's see the next update. That's the triangle for Radiant. That's the previous version. That's the new version. Okay, not much changed here actually. Roche Pit got a little bit... No, it didn't get bigger. Did it get bigger? A little bit. Yeah, only a little bit. But nothing crazy happened here. No, nothing crazy happened. So, that's the Radiant bottom lane. Lotus. Some trees, that's the updated version right here. Sorry guys, I need to have a look myself and I didn't see the changes yet. So the Lotus location was moved to the left side. They added this guy here and changed the trees actually. Yeah, this makes it easier for the offlane to get the Lotus actually. You had only you had to come like through the trees, and sometimes you get blocked and stuck in the trees. But this makes it easier for you. You can also, especially in daylight, you can see where the enemy supports are if they are already in here. Here you were like stuck, you were inside in front of them already, and with a new change, you can see right here, it makes it easier to approach the Lotus location. Let's see the next one. This is the Dire top lane, Lotus location, probably the same. No, here it didn't change much. They just changed some trees here on this side. Removed this one a little bit to the top, but nothing happened. Actually, nothing crazy happened. The most changes happened to the Radiant locations, especially this change is very amazing. I think it helps the safe lane carry on the Radiant side a lot, in my opinion. But let's see how this works out. Let's get to the next changes. I need to look where we were. No, this weren't the changes I'm looking for. Where are the general changes? Here. These were the terrain changes we talked about. Here's the general change I was talking about with the hero updates. The lifesteal amplification and spell lifesteal amplification have been removed and new umbrellas that has been created in their place. Health restoration, which means there's only one stat for lifesteal amp and spell lifesteal amp and not two different stats. What this does is it provides a percentage increase to health gain from lifesteal, spell lifesteal, and health regen. That's what I talked about. Both stats are now the same. Positive and negative sources of health restoration stack diminishing with each other. Okay. Health restoration cannot go lower than minus 100% and cannot go higher. Okay. You will never have 100%. It's not working. Source of heal amplification now stack additively with each other instead of diminishingly. That's actually a buff to heroes like Dazzle or Abaddon. If you grave someone and got the upgraded stick, it's stacked diminishingly, which means it's less. You get less health amp, and now you get more health amp. Actually, not a huge change, only some percent, but sometimes it helps. Heal amp cannot go lower than minus 100. Okay, we'll never have this, I guess. Effects that root and disarm are now considered bind effects and will have the status bound overhead. Okay, I guess it's like a CM or something, right? Yeah, CM frostbite. Okay, we'll just have some quality of life change over your hero. Next we get to the item updates. Starting with Blink Dagger. Seems like all the Blink Daggers have no overshoot range anymore. What this means is before, if you pressed the Blink Dagger key outside of the animation you get, I can show this to you. 1 second. Let me get any hero for the demo. Yeah. If you clicked outside of your range indicator, which was, this is your Blink Dagger range, right? If you clicked here before, your hero will walk until here it would blink, but with a range overshoot, the range overshoot was stealing you 100 range with your blink dagger, which means you could blink 100 range less. Seems like they removed it. Now you can even blink as far as you can without the range indicator. Was like a very old Dota feature that was in the game. Not many people knew about it, but seems like they removed it now, which is quite good, especially for newer players who don't know this mechanic. So you always have the maximum blink range now you normally have. Kaya no longer provides 20% spell lifesteal amp. Mana regen amp bonus decreased from 50% to 40%. Huge nerf for Kaya, especially for a Quap, that this doesn't increase the lifesteal amp, which Quap players got Dagon for, and the facet from Quap deals damage. That's why they needed the Dagon Kaya combination, which doesn't work anymore. Huge damage, huge nerf for Quap, obviously. Also, the mana regen amp, huge nerf for many heroes that got Kaya, like Earthshaker, like Quap, like especially Medusa nerf. Yeah, huge nerf for Kaya, but needed. This item was very strong on many heroes, especially mid heroes. Many heroes bought this item. It's nice to see a nerf right here, so it shakes the meta up a bit. Yasha and Kaya no longer provides the 25 spell lifesteal amp because Kaya doesn't give it anymore. Makes this item even worse. You're not buying this item on many heroes anyways, so probably will even less heroes will buy this item. Meteor Hammer also no longer provides the spell lifesteal amp from Kaya, and the mana regen amplify bonus decreased. So these three items really got nerfed, but much needed nerf I think. Shakes the item meta up again. Zange, 20% lifesteal and health regen amplification replaced with 16 health restoration. That's what we talked about earlier in the general changes. Actually, a minor nerf, I would say, right? Yeah. Abyssal Blade, also the health restoration got nerfed a bit. Also not a huge nerf. Zang and Yasha, lifesteal and health regen replaced with 20% health restoration. Okay, fine. Oh, status resi got decreased, which is actually a huge nerf for some carries like PA, for Nikes, for every carry that gets Sange and Yasha. But also, in my opinion, much needed nerf because most heroes were buying this item to just get around your crowd control. Yeah. In my opinion, good nerf to Sang and Yasha. Shakes the, especially the carry item builds up a lot. Kaya Zange. Yeah, there's the lifesteal now. So heroes like Quap or other heroes with spell lifesteal need to complete the Kaya Zange now before they get the spell lifesteal, which is in my opinion is a good change. So they really need to buy the full item and not just the Kaya. Orb of Frost cost increased, which is fine, I guess. Which will also increase the costs of Orb of Corrosion. Yeah, right. They reduced the word clutter now using health restoration, which is exactly what the item did before. Only the health restoration reduction no longer stacked with Orb of Corrosion and Skadi. Okay. There were, I guess, some situations where people bought Orb of Frost, Corrosion, and Skadi to like stack the health region stuff maybe against Morph. Doesn't work anymore. It's fine, I guess. Cost increase also fine, especially on Orb of Corrosion. The cost increase. This item is quite strong on many heroes. Bought very often, especially heroes like Slark, Furion. Yeah, PA. Quite good to nerf this by increasing the cost. Here, the health restoration thingy didn't change much. Also, doesn't stack with Skadi and Overfrost. Eye of Skadi, recipe changed. Now requires the second ultimate orb, so like it was like 5 years ago, instead of a point booster. No longer requires a recipe, total cost increase. Okay, they made it more expensive, no longer gives you the health, but gives you more attributes, which is good for many carries and many universal heroes actually. Overall, it gives you 13 strength also, which is around the same health actually, and also the same mana you get from the attributes, but the attributes are better for every carry, for every universal hero, because you get attack speed, you get health regen, you get mana regen, you get everything from attributes. So actually, not really a nerf, it's only more expensive until here. So cold attack, yeah, the health restoration thingy, and heal amplification. Okay, this is new. Reduces heal amp if you attack like heroes like Dazzle or Edge or something like that. And this doesn't stack with Orb of Corrosion and Overfrost. Okay. So actually, in my opinion, good change. Made it more expensive, but also stronger on many heroes like AD carries, TB. They want the stats more than they want health. Yeah, quite good actually. Nice change. Better build up for many carries. Shiva's Guard, Freezing Aura. Also, the health restoration thingy didn't change much, just the wording changed. Bloodstone, Blood Pack cooldown decreased from 35 to 30 seconds. Not many heroes by Bloodstone right now. Only Lashrock, Sand King. I can't think of any other hero right now. Made it a bit stronger. Maybe some other heroes will buy Bloodstone now. Eternal Shroud, mana restoration increased from 20 to 25%. Yeah, quite good maybe on Necro. Most of the times, getting a pipe is just better for your team. So that's why they probably needed to buff it, because not many heroes were buying it. Helm of Dominator requires a crown instead of a diadem. Recipe costs increased. Actually, the total cost didn't increase that much. Makes it a little bit easier to build up actually, because you can buy the crown first, which makes you stronger on lane, and then later you can buy the recipe, and you don't need to stack the gold for diadem. Quite good change. Dominator, even though it got buffed last patch, isn't bought very often. Maybe makes Lucan more viable. Let's see. Helm of Overlord, only cost decrease. Okay, because it has a build up with the recipe now. Glimmer Cape, magic resistance bonus decreased from 25 to 20%. Actually, a huge nerf for Glimmer Cape. Glimmer Cape barrier, okay, never mind. Glimmer Cape barrier increased from 300 to 375. Better if you use it on another hero. Worse if they attack you, I guess. Holy Locket, Holy Blessing heal amplification decreased from 25 to 15, okay. Huge nerf for Tinker, huge nerf for Dazzle, huge nerf for Io. Yeah. Although, and huge nerf for Abaddon. Can't think of any other hero that buys Holy Locket now. Liquid Sphere, health region bonus increased from 6 to 6.5. Not a huge change actually. Not game changing. Phylactery, empower spell cooldown decreased from 12 to 10 seconds. Actually, huge buff to this item. Maybe you see more people buying this item now on Rubik, on Zeus. Maybe Bounty. Yeah, good buff for this item. Wasn't bought very often. Kanda, recipe cost decreased from 1.5k to 1.3k. Total cost decreased by 200. Yeah, still shitty item. There are better items, I guess. Don't know of any hero that buys Kanda right now. They need to change something about this active for the build-up. Don't like this item. What of items? Atos. Intelligence bonus decreased from 15 to 12. Little nerf gives you a little less mana. Cripple mana cost increased from 50 to 100. Actually, huge nerf. You receive less int from a Rod of Ados and even pay more to use it. Huge nerf to Rod of Ados. But also much needed. Many heroes bought Rod of Ados in the last patch. Gleipnir also the same changes. Intelligence bonus decreased and the mana cost increased for the chains. Huge nerf to Gleipnir and Rod, in my opinion. Most heroes rush this, and if you rush this item, you don't have a huge mana pool. It's like a minute 15, 16 when you get the rod. And most of the times you don't have that much mana on this level. Evasion bonus decreased from Talisman of Evasion. 1 second. Starting new. Talisman of Evasion. Evasion bonus got decreased from 20 to 15. And so got the Radiance evasion bonus also decreased from 20 to 15. Quite fine. I guess many heroes were buying Radiance, so they had to nerf it to shake the item meta up. Urn got changed. Now requires a circlet instead of a fluffy head. Recipe costs increased from 280 to 320. Overall, this gives you less HP now. This only gives you, if you get 2 strength, you get 38 HP. Get the other stats too. Makes the build up a little bit better because you can go on the lane with a circlet as a support and still get the urn without buying the fluffy head. But overall the stats are worse. But I think the build up is better right now. Because you can buy a circlet on lane which makes you stronger in the early game on lane instead of the fluffy head. Which is, by the way, even more expensive than a circlet, but overall, interesting change. Maybe more supports will go earn now because the build-up is just that much better. Spirit Vessel now requires Diadem instead of Vitality Booster. Recipe cost unchanged. Total cost decrease from 2780 to 2750. No longer gives the health, but now provides attributes. Maybe some offlane heroes can now get it because it just is better stat stick. I don't know yet actually. The debuff, by the way, didn't get changed. The heal amp, like we talked about earlier, right? Just minus 70% on everything. But in my opinion, on many heroes, the attributes are better than the health. Especially on heroes that are universal, like Veno or I don't know. Many heroes just want the stats more on the vessel instead of the health. I think we will see this item more right in this patch. Let's armor bonus decreased, okay. Huge nerf actually. Now we get to the new items. Orb of Destruction cycled out. Actually, that was one of the hugest items for carries and for offline heroes. It's good that they cycled it out and we can try something new. Pickpole cycled out, Trusty Shovel cycled out. Shipped West. Quite good for heroes that want to go jungle early and just need that a little bit of damage to do it. Dormant Curio. New tier 1 new item. Passive hidden potential. Neutral item artifacts you choose while holding Dormant Curio will have 30% increased potency. Provides an unleashed enchantment which improves some stats to the next non-Curio artifact that you choose while crafting. Improved stats will have a special icon in the description. Okay. The enchantment is tied to the next non-Curio. It will be saved as long as you keep the upgraded artifact. Selecting a new one will make you lose the unleashed treat. Okay, overall, if you don't have any good tier 1 item, you can actually save this item and get like a Searing Signet with upgraded damage, right? Actually quite good if you don't have any item you like on level 1. You can also, seems like, hold this until tier 3 or tier 4 and get even better items. Interesting change, actually. Interesting item. Let's see how this works out. Many heroes can pick this actually and get a better tier 2 or tier 3 items. Yeah. Cobalt Cup. One active is one for the road. Increase movement speed of all allies within 1000 units by 10%. Oh, actually quite nice if you go on a gank and just run on the lane or try to escape. Nice item on a support, in my opinion. New tier 1 item, Sister Shroud. Passive, Veiled. Whenever your health falls below 50%, you gain 200% evasion, okay. Each attack negated by Veil reduces this evasion bonus to 0.25% of its current value. So on the first hit you have like you can't be hit by the enemy, right? Next hit would be 50%. It's a 50-50 if you get a hit, and the third hit is a 12.5% evasion. Quite nice against some heroes. If you're against Shaker or like Wraith King, crit can be dodged. Ah, okay, the passive only resets if you kill an enemy hero or die. Actually, it's quite nice against some heroes in the early game to survive like the 1 or 2 hits that would have killed you. Quite nice. Balsama Cape, cycled out. Iron Talent, cycled out. Bragan's Blade. Ah, now there's the Dormant Curio buffs. So you deal more damage if you got the Curio. Essence Ring also from 240 to 312 if you got this Curio item. Actually quite cool to have this. I mean 70 HP, quite a lot at this stage of the game. Mana Drought, not tier 1 anymore, went up to tier 2. Yeah, which is, actually most heroes picked this, especially heroes that need mana obviously picked this on level 1, which completely cleared the mana problems. It's good that they moved it up to tier 2, buffed it a little bit, give you more mana regen. Also, with Dormant Curio, gives you even more mana regen. Movement Shield's back, guys. Passive, damage block, grants a 50% to block 30 damage from attacks and melee wielders, or 20 on ranged. Chance to proc increased to 100 against hero attacks. Movement Shield also was very strong, like, I don't know how long it has been, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, in the Troll Sniper patch everyone bought Movement Shield. Funny that it's back. Let's see how that works out. And some heroes, especially on X, like maybe you can skip your Vanguard and get something else. Yeah, quite good item actually. Can also be increased by Dormant Curio. Serum Signet, no changes, only the Curio thing. Same here. Nemesis Curse cycled out, Ninja Gear cycled out. This was, Nemesis Curse was very good on some heroes like Beastmaster if you ult someone, or Legion Commander. Ninja Gear, also very strong item on heroes like Magnus, Shaker, or heroes that want to initiate Enigma. They cycled it out. Let's see. Gale Guard, only the Curio change. Gunpowder, Gauntlet, also Curio change. This is new. GD Pollen back. The 3 item. Activate. Pollinate. Spread pollen on enemies within 700 units, decreasing their health restoration by 20% for 12 seconds and dealing 12% of the target's max health as damage over the duration. Damage interval 1 second. Actually, good damage, 12% health, target's max health, and also reducing health restoration on heroes like Dazzle or Necro, Beastmaster, Morphling, especially Morphling with a Morph. Yeah, good item. Psychic Headband is back. Psychic Push pushes the target enemy away from you for 100 distance. Cost range 600, no mana cost. Yeah, quite good on range heroes. to get the carry off you. Serrated Shift, only the Courier increase, damage increase, Whisper of the Dead, also not only the Curio increase. Ceremony Rope, cycled out, Mindbreaker cycled out, Ogre Totem cycled out. Crippling Crossbow, only the new health restoration thing I talked about earlier, also can be upgraded by Dormant Curio to Dazun Bloodrite, new T4 artifact. Passive, Blood Invocation, increases Blood Invocation, increases spell AoE by 15%, but spells also cost health equal to 35% of their mana cost, okay. I'm thinking about a hero that can use this. Underlord is pretty good with it, I guess. AA also very, very strong with his ult. But on some heroes you don't want to use this, like on Lashrock, for example, you don't want to trade your health for your mana. There are some heroes that can be quite good with this, actually. Warlock also very, very good. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. There are some hero combos that are very strong with this. Giant Wall, new T4, passive Crushing Blow. Your next attack is a critical strike that deals 150% of your attack's regular damage. Hitting an enemy with an empowered strike weakens them, decreasing their movement speed by 10, attack speed by 15, and card speed by 20%. Well, this is actually quite good on some heroes. Imagine like Kunkka getting this. Also, if Kunkka had the Curio, the crit is 195%. PA also very, very good with this. There are some carriers that are really fucking strong with this. Shaker, for example. Shaker also very, very good on mid lane. If you have the Enchant Totem crit, always quite good. Very nice. Magnifying Monocle, also only the Curio increase. Outward stuff, new T4 item. Active, Self-Exile. Removes the caster from the world, making them invulnerable and disabled for 0.7 seconds. Caster loses 5% of their max HP health on return. This damage is not lethal, but it mutes Blink Dagger and similar items up to the effect. Mana cost 40. Actually, it's like OD, Banish. I guess we won't see crazy plays in pubs with this, but I guess this item will be one of the most picked items in the pro scene. Can be fucking amazing. You can like dodge Lina ult, you can dodge line ult, you can dodge line stun, Nyx stun, you can dodge a lot of shit with this. But you need to have fast fingers. I don't think we see this much in the pub games under Immortal MMR, but over Immortal MMR and especially in the pro scene, this will be amazing, I guess. Cloak, also only the Curio increase, Magic Lamp cycled out, Pirate Head cycled out, Book of the Dead. Duration decreased from the summoning, the health decreased from both the archer and the warrior. They got less damage because the damage type changed. Yeah, Curio, I mean, no one is holding Curio under T5 items. Divine Regalia, new neutral. It has a passive. Increase outgoing damage by 20%. That's actually fucking huge. And at minute 60, if the wearer is killed, the item permanently loses a current enchantment and turns into a disregards Regalia. Okay. Has nothing to provide to one who dared to die. The disgrace. Here's only 2 years that died with the... So. Okay, I mean, that's like an... For their last attempt to win the game. You have no buyback anymore, you have a rapier in your inventory, and then you're taking this and get even 20% more damage. Can be fucking huge. But if you die, I mean, you don't have a tier 5 item, and tier 5 items are huge, very, very strong. You only pick this if you know you're gonna win the game, or it's the last fight, and either you die or you win the game. Yeah. Fallen Sky, also only affected by Dormant Curio, nothing else. Helm of the Undying, returning as a tier 5 neutral artifact. Passive Death Delay. Survive for an extra 5 seconds after receiving a killing blow. Enemy heroes dying within 1200 units, sorry guys, extend this effect by 5 seconds. Cooldown 50 seconds. Actually, it's quite strong. It's like Wraith King Arcanums, especially when you kill enemy heroes. Meanwhile, if you had to carry like PA jump and kill someone, then the effect is extend extended by 5 seconds, then you're jumping to the next one, killing the whole team while you have the helm on. Actually, good item. Very nice. No change here, except the Dormant Curio. No change here, no change here, and no change here. Okay. Enchantment changes. Alert. Less attack speed. Okay. Attack speed still Festival was really strong on many carry heroes. But at level 4 you get more attack range. Okay, that's cool on like heroes like Sniper, Drow, Medusa. Yeah, quite good on some heroes. Brawny, health bonus decreased. Oh, at tier 4 you now get slow resistance, which is quite strong on some heroes. Especially on the offlane heroes, you're picking this normally. Okay, magic resistance on mystical got nerfed, but 100 cast range at tier 4, which is actually quite good. Let me have a look. Magnifying monocle still in game. On some heroes you can now get cast range on magnifying monocle and get this, which is very, very good on some heroes. Quickened, no evasion at tier 4. They actually buffed all the enchantments at tier 4 now, okay. So we have tough, damage bonus decreased, armor decreased on all levels, but now you have knockback resistance. Yeah, I don't know, that's shitty, I don't know. There are very, very few heroes with knockback right now. Vampiric now gives 200 night vision at tier 4, which was alert before they changed this around. Crude no longer provides slow resistance and gives you health restoration, which is also very, very good on some heroes. On like Necro, on Dazzle, on Abaddon, yeah. Vice now provides 15% max mana, okay. Yeah, that's it with the items, guys. Let's see what we have next. Now we are talking about some quality of life changes. Let me have a look. I didn't look over these myself. So, team items. Keep track of your teammates' inventories as easily as your own. Check which items they've bought or queued to buy and never accidentally rush into double radiance again. This is actually quite a good change. I had so many games with double radiance like Nakes on safe lane and like, I don't know, fucking Kunkka and mid getting radiance. Or, yeah, I don't know. Or double Shivas on Quap and X. I don't, it happens so often. Quite good change. Auto deliver, customize your query settings to automatically deliver purchased items, then even make a stop at a secret shop. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of controlling it manually. Probably if you're new to the game and don't have the micro yet, that's a good change for you. I don't like it. Often it makes your courier go into situations you don't like. Mark for buy. This is actually also a cool setup if you're just not watching your gold and you're not losing gold anymore when dying. If you forget to buy items, quite good. Mark for buy, like mark for sell, one of the best quality of life changes they did for many years. I'm talking about mark for sell. That was a fucking huge change. Improved starting item display. Looks actually the same for me. I don't know. Yeah, looks a little bit better, but uh, nothing I need actually. Buyback tooltip. We've improved the visuals of your buyback status, so you know at a glance if your buyback available. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I guess I just alt-clicked my gold and saw if I have buyback. That's fine, I guess. Better for newer players. Pre-game clarity. See which team you're on and what role you have. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, can't say anything to this. You should know which role you queued actually and which hero you are. But okay. Item context menu. We've added a CTRL right-click menu for your shop item shortcuts. Purchase item. Add to quick buy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you don't have the shortcut for quick buy or you don't know it, it's quite okay, I guess. Especially for newer players who start Dota. Yeah, quite okay. Dota Plus guide. Dota Plus now continuously updates on the fly based on your current build, showing detailed next purchase suggestions and adapting in real time. Okay. I thought Dota Plus was doing this anyways, but okay, fine, I guess. Communication and clarity. Better ways to coordinate with your team and get important information from the game. New pings. Pings have refreshed new visual effects and improve sounds, improve communication. Okay, that's actually cool. Yeah, looks more like League of Legends now actually, but I like the new effects. Item pickup effects. When a teammate snacks an important item like the Aegis or Immortal or Refresher Shard, yeah, that's also very nice. You see who took the game, who took the gem, who got the Aegis without communicating via voice chat, who took the Roshan's banner. You can see everything. That's quite nice quality of life change. Minimap route display. Pinging on my way displays a hero estimated travel path on the map. Also cool, actually. Especially in pubs when you're not communicating in Discord or TeamSpeak. Helps you visualize where the teammate is going. Status labels. The override status system has been expanded to include a wider spectrum of hero states, including ethereal, doomed, untargetable, teleporting, channeling, and more. Okay, that's actually cool. Yeah, I like it. Improve voice chat quality. Okay. Power and controls. Any option you could dream of has probably already been in the game for years. Hidden a submenu of a submenu. Not anymore. The settings have been reorganized for clarity and even better, are now fully searchable. Well, that's actually cool. While you're searching your settings in UI, make sure you activate Quickcast and use Quickcast to get a better MMR. Just one tip from me. I'm gonna make a new video about this, but Quickcast is essential in this game. New settings here. Let's see. Looks very cool actually. Yep. Search settings. That's nice. If you search something, just type it in and everything gets highlighted. Discover new settings. New settings are now clearly marked, so you can use it. Oh, that's also cool. If you didn't play Dota for a long time, they will show you their new settings. Chat wheel. After user break menus and community, your chat wheel is finally easy to find, easier to use, and even easier. Oh, cool. That looks. Actually, I have like only voice chat on my chat wheel, but yeah, that's quite nice, I guess. Manage in-game notifications. Save preview on the right side. We can get only the notification that you want. Okay. Ability draft. I'm gonna skip this. I'm not playing ability draft. It can be quite funny though, but I'm not playing ability draft, so I'm gonna skip this. Most of the audience won't have interest in this also. Let me read this first. Okay, and a lot of other stuff we're getting. Performance tweaks, so you get higher FPS and smoother in-game animations and everything. Improve post-game and spectator graphs. That's actually really cool. So you can analyze your game, analyze the mistakes you made, and get more MMR. That's pretty nice. Actually, I like it very much. Arcana MVP backgrounds. The MVP screen now includes Arcana and Persona backgrounds for enemies worthy of the honor. Okay. Dead neutral creeps, visual glitch. We fixed it. Only took 13 years. Okay, I didn't even know there was a glitch, but I guess they did it. Vector targeting snapping improvements. Oh, vector targeted abilities like Master's Rebound now step more related to Brunt. Okay, that's good, right? I guess. Not playing many heroes with vector targeting, but I guess that's fine for the heroes. That's it with the new patch, guys. I was very happy to share my first impressions with you. If you liked the video, subscribe to my channel, and if you want any guides for the new patch, just tell me in the comments. Goodbye.